Lower dump.
Hello, Lore Dump listeners and fans, and welcome to another exciting episode of Lore Dump, the show where we take somebody who hasn't experienced a game or game franchise and we walk them through the story. I'm your announcer, Chase, and I'm joined here today by...
Hi there, Chase. It's Neil. Certainly a interesting first quarter for the team here at Lore Dump. Seem to be flagging a bit, but hoping to rally in the back end of the game today.
I agree with you here, Neil. And I'm also joined here by...
Monty.
Fuck you. Join our bits. Be bitty with us.
I struggle with bits.
Oh, what kind of an actor are you?
I know.
God.
I can never yes and. I'm really bad at it.
Anyhow, welcome back to Lore Dump. We're back with another exciting episode of Yakuza 5.
Whoa,
Part
4.
Part 4, baby.
I'm not recapping again this time. I did it for the last two. Just go and listen to them.
Part 3 had Haruka doing idle shenanigans, and Akiyama returned from Yakuza 4, and the two of them teamed up to solve the murder of her manager. We learned, the only thing we really learned was that Goro Majima, who is still missing, whereabouts
Used
unknown.
to be in a relationship.
Used to be in a relationship with Haruka's
Park.
Manager Park, and they were going to meet up at the Tokyo Dome. Haruka's off now to do her big concert, which will presumably be part of our finale. And
Park was killed by...
what's his name from the Omi Alliance?
Ken Ogita.
Yeah, but really by
Kanai.
Kanai.
Right, but who was his boss?
Well, his boss
Katsuya.
didn't...
Katsuya is the one that matters.
Katsuya didn't sign off on that, though.
No, but Katsuya has revealed himself as a third proper villain to join our stack of villains. And now we're going to find out what happens next. Meanwhile, I don't know, Daigo's missing. Kiryu's still a taxi
Yeah, I
driver.
haven't heard about Daigo in a while.
Really desperately want both of y'all's predictions about what the fuck part 4 is going to be.
I think we're going to get introduced to a brand new character. A brand new playable character. I think
I'm
that's
going
what's
to
going to
just
happen.
go out on a limb here and hope that we get Daigo as a playable character.
That would be cool.
Interesting. But no predictions about what we're going to get up to?
I think we're building up
What's
to a
the
big
point?
rooftop fight on top of the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
But as far as the conspiracy goes,
we know it'll
lost
end
the thread.
with Haruka singing her heart out while her dad fights on the roof.
100%, which is going to be so hype when that happens.
Let's get
Physical.
into part 4. A crowd cheers through the brightly lit door at the end of a dark corridor. A man in a baseball uniform walks slowly along its length, exiting to the shine of stadium lights and the roar of the crowd. He looks over the edge of the dugout, his coach leaning against the wall, and they nod at each other. The man takes his bat in hand and walks towards the diamond as the announcer's voice booms through the stadium. The Nagoya Wyverns have announced a pinch hitter. Sakai, playing second base and batting 7th in the lineup, is coming out. Coming into bat is Tatsuo Shinada, number 47. A sports reporter's voice comes over the TV broadcast. It's the bottom of the 9th. 2 outs. The Wyverns send Tatsuo Shinada to pinch hit. He's a 22-year-old from Tokyo who spent the last 4 years on the farm, and today's his chance to prove himself in the big leagues. For his very first at-bat, he'll be taking over for Sakai, the core of the Wyverns' defense, a bold decision on their manager Fujita's part. I'll say, maybe Sakai's hurting after the slugfest we witnessed today, or maybe it's a move with extra innings in mind. Either way, it's safe to assume that there must be some logical reason for it. On the Giants side, Sawada's relentless pitching has held the Wyverns at bay. As long as he doesn't give up a big hit, this should be good news for him.
Is this a baseball chapter?
And here's the first pitch. The pitcher sends the ball flying. Shinada smacking it hard left. Foul. Sawada doesn't want to give up a big hit here. His curveball's breaking sharp today. You can tell he's confident.
Do we have to know about baseball for this chapter?
Yeah, I'm not following the game.
Sawada winds up for another pitch, sending it. Sawada's hitting it, but sending it flying up behind him into the stands. Another foul. Another foul. Another foul. 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 6 fouls in a row. 2 strikes on the board. which I do have a mental note to explain some baseball that the first 2 fouls also count as strikes in baseball, but any other fouls after that, they just kind of, you just keep counting fouls. And you just get struck out. This Shinada kid's something else. He's swinging like a beast out there. You can tell he's trying to zero in on Sawada's tricky curveballs. So far, all he's been throwing. Would you say this is smart pitching, given how the batter's so focused on getting a hit? That, and he's getting better at his timing. He's waiting for that signature curve. The 7th pitch, Sawada pulls his cap down, winds up, and lets it rip, throwing a fastball straight down the middle. Crack! Shinada's bat connects head on, sending the ball flying up straight down center field. It's going! Gone! Home run for the Wyverns! Now that's for drama. Welcome to the big time, Shinada. His first at-bat as a pro ends up a home run and a walk-off to boot. All those curves in a fastball, that would cause most batters to choke. I'm honestly amazed he hit it. Shinada rounds the plates, cheering himself on with a bright and excited smile on his face. And so begins the story of a new baseball legend, Tatsuo Shinada of the Wyverns!
Yeah! Whoa.
That was a short chapter.
Yeah.
Part 4.
Oh.
Tatsuo Shinada.
Good stuff.
So it is a new character. We're playing as a baseball player.
Welcome to baseball. Do you guys like baseball?
So just to clarify, this is part 4 of 5 of this intricately, allegedly connecting plot. And
we've jumped from our idol minigame to a baseball minigame. And presumably this is now going to be 4 more hours of our lives. Tatsuo Shinada. I'm not gonna lie, Chase. There was a beat, like maybe halfway through the big ramble, that I thought to myself, oh, I wonder if this is Daigo pretending to be a baseball player for reasons currently
or
unknown.
Majima, maybe.
Or Majima. But no, it is just a new character.
That's fine.
Who likes to play baseball.
Maybe we'll like him.
And he's a batter, or is he a thrower?
He's a batter.
He's a batter. Okay, cool. Right. Right, let's get on with it. No, I'm excited. Let's do it.
I would also like to put
Baseball.
that this GIF will need to be included in the...
Yes, for anyone listening,
Yes.
we've got a
brat
gif
skull.
of one of the brats lifting up a baseball bat and the name Shinada appearing on
Tatsuo
screen.
Shinada.
this bat has been an ongoing Discord meme for me specifically for like 2.5 years now.
I love it. It's great. Okay.
What's the bet that Shinada never comes back for a future game? as well?
100%. We're never seeing this character again.
Oh,
He's going to be, I don't know, Haruka's secret brother or something.
It's about time.
Yeah.
A man bangs repeatedly on the door of an apartment, shouting for Shinada.
Lucky door.
Inside, shut the fuck up. Inside, the place is a mess. Piles of dishes in the sink, empty cans and noodle containers scattered across the floors and surfaces. Shinada wakes up, shifting around uncomfortably in bed as the man outside shouts about a promise to pay him back. He quietly goes to the door, looking through the peephole to see an older man angrily glaring through. He backs away quietly, hoping that the man might think he's not home, but bumps his foot on a low table, falling over with a clatter. I heard that! Shinada clicks his tongue. Just hang on a sec, Uno-san. Uno keeps shouting about letting him in, causing Shinada to ask at the door, is that any way to treat a friend? As he goes back into bed. Friend my ass! I can't wait to get you out of my life. And after I get my 30 grand, that is. But Uno-san, I still want you in my life. They say relationships end the moment money dries up. That's why I'm holding out. I'm just being a good friend. Shinada pulls the covers over his head as Uno continues banging on the door trying to get in. Suddenly, a hand grabs Uno's wrist, pulling him from the door. A suave man in a swanky suit asking if Uno's also a collector. Getting too close to Uno's face, saying that he can come back later if he'll be a while. Uno uncomfortably sinks away from the door, leaving Shinada's apartment, calling over his shoulder that he better open up. The real thing's here. Before Shinada can even get out of bed, he hears a click as the door swings open. The collector, swinging a spare key around a rope on his finger, saying how he ran into Shinada's landlord earlier. Pretty reasonable guy. When I offered to help him get his rent, he was happy to hand over the keys. Takasugi-san! Shinada bolts up in bed. Shinada tries saying that he was going to pay today as Takasugi gets down, saying how he thought Shinada knew better than to mooch off civilians. That's how you lose friends. But you know what's even more dumb? He stands up, kicking a bag of trash into Shinada, borrowing from a pro and not paying back Shinada. Interest is due today. Takasugi walks over to Shinada's wallet, tipping out the contents. A few loose coins fall to the ground. My youngest's got more cash than that, and he's in 3rd grade. He kicks the cans off the table, sitting down and telling Shinada that maybe instead of writing smut for a living, he goes and gets, a real job. Hey, got a small...
Flashback?
Yeah, Chase, we're, I think, slightly concerned and confused.
This is current time.
This is current time. Was
the baseball was a flashback.
The baseball was a flashback.
Oh, right. Okay.
I thought it was a dream, but fair enough.
Well, no, but maybe second chances, etc.
We'll get there. Shut up.
Yeah, because he's skin. No money.
Instead of writing spot for a living, etc., etc.
Hey. He's got a small sheet metal shop as collateral, and they're short on staff. Real nice pay, too. Just got to slide some metal through a press. Nice and easy. First, just got to get on their payroll, and then he grabs Shinada's hand. Just shove your fingers into the press and kiss them goodbye. Workers' comp will cover the whole thing. Insurance will pay, $300,000 a finger. Oh my God. Only need to lose 1, 2, 3, and you'll still have enough to pick your nose when it's all said and done. Shinada frantically pulls away, grabbing his diary, showing that he's got an interview lined up for later that night. He'll write a story and get paid, and then the cash will be right on over. Even he's not stupid enough to not pay his interest. No.
We're trying to figure out what he could do with just 2 fingers. So he can pick his nose.
Baseball's probably out.
Baseball is out. Yeah. Do you get to pick the fingers?
I don't know.
Because take the left 3 and you could,
Hopefully he keeps his thumb.
Okay.
Takasugi smacks him over the head with a diary. Then what are you doing laying around in bed? Shinada jumps up, grabbing his jacket and going to walk out the door, but Takasugi grabs his shoulder. He reminds him that he's dealing with a pro. There could be dire consequences. Could always see what the Nagoya family thinks about this. He kicks Shinada's ass out of the door, telling him to get to work. Chapter 1. Abandoned Glory. Shinada's interview is at Club Futamoto over on Icho Street. That's on the other side of town, so Shinada starts hauling ass. And I don't know if I said it, we're in Nagoya.
Which one was Nagoya again?
Nagoya, if you remember from the prior parts, was the city where we heard that 2 Yakuza bigwigs died. One of the Omi bigwigs and a Tojo bigwig both died in Nagoya.
So presumably we're about to find out what happened there.
And we also remember that Daigo had sent the Tojo one here on another one of his various alliance gathering ones. So that's where we are. But Shinada is off to Club Futamoto. On his way, it's really clear that Shinada is fairly popular with the local club scene, getting stopped by a number of managers, one begging him to write another article about them, saying that clients were singing their praises right and left after the one he wrote. Another tells him to come in for some prime cleavage, bargain price for him. As he walks down the road, his attention is caught by a news screen, a newsreel playing about the Tokyo Giants. A newsreel playing about the Tokyo Giants and how they've been drifting in their search to find a new manager.
It's not just the Tokyo Giants.
It is the Giants.
The Giants.
Okay. I'm wondering if the Giants is the actual real world team and they've had to change it.
Yes. Copyright free Tokyo Giants.
The Tokyo Giants. And if I'm wrong about this and I've just been dyslexiaing this entire chapter, I think that's even funnier.
I'm not Googling it. I don't want to know.
No, they'll tell us.
It may be disastrous for their season. Shinada forces himself to not think about it and focus on work. He finally makes it to Futamoto, where the frustrated manager tells him that he's late for his interview. He tries playing it off, saying how he was drowning in work. But not to worry. Today, I vow to mold Milky-chan's mature muffins into gravure gold mines.
Why is everyone so gross all the time, every day, forever?
So, if it's not clear yet...
cleavage, Monty.
If it's not clear yet, so Shinada writes as a journalist for, a local smut magazine, and he goes around interviewing local brothel workers. And sex workers and stuff.
The year is 2012, and this is how we get off, is it?
Yeah.
Milky muffins.
Also, the place that he's in Nagoya is very much kind of like the red light district of Nagoya.
Okay.
But enough about that. Milky has taken a leave of absence, effective immediately. Manager has no clue why. Doesn't want to get too close with the broads. Besides, women in their 40s go through all sorts of things. Could be the hot flashes got to her. Ugh. Shinada's panicked, saying that if he doesn't get the interview in today, he's never going to make it to print. Shoot, I thought you knew Milky-chan inside and out. That's not even a euphemism. Why drag her out if you've already sampled her goods? Make up some good old-fashioned bullshit.
This is the worst chapter.
This is so gross.
Of all of them.
Oh, hell no. He's interviewing Milky in person, no matter what. Seems that he actually interviews Milky quite frequently. Totally not to expense it off. No, totally not. Seems that his last article didn't go through great, though, because he used much younger photos of Milky for the shot. Milky insisted, though, that he used them. The editor-in-chief ate his ass out, though, saying that he's gone for good if the next pick isn't current.
Probably loved that, you pervert, didn't
This
he?
episode doesn't get monetized, does it?
Plus, if I don't get my article feed today, I'm going to lose most of my fingers, and I won't be able to stroke Milky-chan's creamy thighs ever again. He finally convinces the manager to pull up.
Bring back Akiyama. Or Matt, or Daigo, or anybody. Bring back Saijima. Fuck it, I don't care at this point.
It's always a rough day when you've got to hear one of your friends say the phrase "creamy thighs."
Oh, I wish that was anywhere near the most that phrase. He finally convinces the manager to call up Milky for him, getting on the phone to hear her panicked. Her little brother handles theft prevention over at Kubota Security, but he broke whatever they were transporting, and now he's being held responsible. His boss has him locked up in the office and is making death threats. Seems the boss is also friends with the top cops and the Nagoya family. If her brother was released, though, she'd totally do the interview, right? Right? He tells her to get over to the club and get ready and not worry about her brother. He's going to head over to Kabuto Security. His job and his fingers are riding on this. He heads over to find the office full of totally not Yakuza type in a crisp, clean security uniforms. None too happy to see this wannabe writer coming for their boy Toriyama. So, of course, the writer uses his still attached fingers to wring the throats of every little thugly combat tutorial in the building. What? Yeah.
He can go.
Well, he's got a baseball bat swinging arm, doesn't he? So he can do punching good.
So he's going punching good.
Has he got baseball stance? Is that what he does?
No, he just punches.
Just punches. What a crap
Boy.
They really are giving up.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
We put all the budget into Haruka's dance battles.
Toriyama's brought out alongside their boss, Ono. Seems normally company insurance would cover a mistake like this, but this dumbass has broken so much stuff, Ono could fertilize a farm with all the shit the boss gives him. If he can't pay, he'll just need to go to a loan shark. Shinada asks what he broke anyway, with Ono directing him towards a baseball bat. Specifically, the bat that Koji Kakegawa, the Japanese home run king, used to set the world record.
Ooh.
Shinada walks up to the bat, picking it up and laughing, much to Ono's rage. He looks over at Toriyama, telling him that he doesn't have to worry. The bat is a fake. Kakegawa played with compressed bats. They were banned in 1981, so you'd never see a pro go busting one out today, but in his day, it would have been a compressed one for sure. Thoroughly primed with resin to give the swing more substance. This bat here, no resin. Not even any pine tar. Total bogus. Ono gets up in Shinada's face, thinking that he's trying to pull a fast one, but before he can say anything, the office door swings open. "What's with all the racket in here?" comes the voice of Kubota, the owner of the security company. Shinada catches him up on the bait debacle. Kubota turns on Ono with narrowed eyes, saying that this is the first he's heard of an expensive item transport. Aren't we dealing with a sneaky little rat who took on yet another company job just so he could skim the fee? Ono tries to play dumb, so Kubota calmly walks up to the desk, grabbing a fountain pen and driving it through Ono's cheek, telling him that he doesn't give a shit what he pulls by himself, but to never spoil his company's good name. Shinada tells him, though, that it's fine. So luckily, Ono gets off with nothing more than having to grovel at Shinada's feet for forgiveness and, a light hole through his cheek. Fresh piercings, really in these days.
Yeah.
Hip, cool, alternative.
God, he didn't. It was harsh to penetrate him like that, though.
Real rough.
Real fountain of blood. Come on, nobody.
It squirted.
Hey. No, that's not related to pens.
They leave, Toriyama calling his sister and telling her that Shinada bailed him out. Seems like he's under the illusion that Milky works at a mysterious supermarket that she won't tell him about, and Shinada's actually her manager. He heads back for the interview, finding Milky waiting in her silk nightie in a room at the soapland. Also, I think this is the one on the cover. I know that earlier we were like, is it that one gal from part 1? I think it's actually Milky on the cover.
So she is an important character then, presumably. We got to keep an eye on her.
Maybe.
This game.
Oh,
This game. Yeah.
Nobody in this part is coming back, ever. Are you kidding me? This isn't going to be relevant in 2 games' time.
Oh, boy.
Mind. They do a photo shoot. Shinada flirting the whole time. She's a bit bothered that they're using current pictures, wanting to use old one, but melts at him calling her radiant in her older age. She's like 40-ish, so like not old at all.
Yeah, they refuse.
Too old for the nonsense.
I mean, for a video game character, she's hot.
They refuse to make female characters in this who are under 60 look old at all.
Yeah.
Like they had this thing in part 3 with, and it's not a limitation of the time because we're at the PS3 now. In the last part, we had Park, for example, who's supposed to be like old. It was decades ago that she did it and all that. She looks the same age as almost all the other women in the game, like apart from like the children or the tweens. And it's like, unless you get to an age where you're old enough to be like crone, like animated, like you're so craggy face, like
unless you are a crazy granny character,
or like a mama, maybe,
or a
like,
mama.
Yeah.
She thanks him for saving her brother, saying that they should move on to the interview portion. To show him how thankful she is, she'll give him a little extra service today. Wahoo! Time to hit the showers, he fist pumps. His deep, in-depth interview over, he heads to his magazine's office, unfortunately getting caught by his, pal Uno, who still wants fucking 30 grand. He's not letting Shinada slip away this time, following him to work to get the money the second that he's been paid. While going, he asks why Shinada borrowed money from a real loan shark, with Shinada telling him that he did it about a year ago, around the time that Takasugi first arrived in Kenicho, which that's the district we're in, is Kenicho. Uno's worried about Takasugi, saying that there's all sorts of rumors that he's part of the Nagoya family. Although really weirdly, neither of them have actually ever seen this family. Shinada's been in Kenicho for 15 years, and he's never really seen anybody who looks like Yakuza at all. But there's all sorts of stories and rumors about them, like a soba delivery guy who wound up in one of their offices by accident and lost an eye for it. They've got eyes and ears everywhere. He's worried about Shinada. I mean, if he dies, there goes his 30K, and a new girl joined his favorite parlor today, and he wants to be the first to savor her flavor.
Jesus.
Of course, Shinada immediately recognizes that that's obviously Julia-chan over at Shakuchiko Musume.
Monty, you've never looked so tired.
I'm just sitting here thinking, A, what does this have to do with anything else? And B, how by the time we get to the rooftop fight, how am I going to be able to look back on any of the events of Yakuza 5 and think, yeah, I could have figured this out? Because the beautiful thing about all the other games is that whilst you've always got your 11th hour villain and there's always some last ditch twist, you are able to look back with those games and go, yeah, okay, I piece it together. If I'd really been paying attention, I probably could have got here. And I just don't know anymore,
You don't think
man.
this is relevant? He wanted to be the first to savor her taste.
Flavor.
Savor the flavor.
Yeah. Chase, hold. Sorry, I do have a question. I just want to know. So when you played this game for the first time, and it is humongous, and you're burning out on all the Yakuza-isms. Okay, figures. You've just made it through the Haruka Idol portion, where it's obviously such a tonal swerve. After being Saejima and hunting a bear in the mountains, and you get to this brand new character. What was your initial reaction?
I hated him.
I hate this.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I have come back around. So for years, it's the Discord will love hearing this. They'll feel vindicated. Because most of the Discord really love Shinada.
Do they? Oh, this is a Saejima situation.
Love Shinada.
No,
and
most people were pretty on the nose about Discord about Saejima.
And I, for years, have hated Shinada.
Right.
Like, I've to a joking level, hated Shinada.
Who's worse, Daigo or Shinada?
Shinada.
Okay.
For years, I've hated Shinada until I went to write the script. And now Shinada's one of my favorite characters in Yakuza 4.
I think I'm just a little bit bummed because after Neil mentioned it, I think we're going to play as Daigo, a little part of my brain did, that would be so cool. Like,
But also, fuck Daigo.
a whole part dedicated to catching up on what Daigo's been up
Do you know what Daigo has gone through the last year?
No.
Going all
Nobody
around
does.
Japan, trying
to suck up to the Omi.
No, not the Omi, everyone else.
Oh, sorry, the Omi's enemies.
Yeah, well, you're trying to make alliances, trying to forge equal partnerships. It's unprecedented in Yakuza history.
All while his right-hand man says, sorry, I want to go on a vacation so that my daughter can become an idol, and now I've changed my name and also I've become a taxi driver, but don't worry about it.
He's lost
Like-
his friend.
Yeah.
It's been hard, and he's still put his family in front of everything else.
Anyway, Shinada.
Yeah, so Shinada immediately recognizes that Uno's talking about Julia-chan over at Shakachiko Musume. Leave it to the sleuth of the sex industry. You sure like your amateurs, don't you? You knew she used to be Nanako-chan over at Mad Max. What? That old hag? Shinada uses Uno's massive disappointment and sprints away, making it to his office and collecting his pay. He heads outside, giddily checking the money, but what? He whips out his phone, making a call. Hey, boss, where's the rest of my paycheck? His boss shouts down the line about how many fucking deadlines he's missed. Not to mention the fact that all his stories are handwritten. Think of all the work he's making for them. He gets fired. Moaning about how he wanted yakiniku, but he guesses conveyor belt sushi will do. He begins walking home, but yoink! The envelope disappears from his hand. He spins around to see Takasugi waving the envelope and asking what he was saying about sushi. He rifles through it, making a face. This is all you get for that smut? Hell, my daughter gets paid more for her New Year's gifts, and she's in 4th grade.
So this guy's a scumbag. I'm curious to know what the 30K was lent for. Was it just like, I'm behind on rent?
No. The 30 grand was his pal. This is the loan shark.
Right, sorry, my bad. Okay.
Yeah,
cool,
so
cool.
this is the Yakuza loan shark who has his kids that make a lot of money, apparently.
Yeah.
He looks at the money, saying how it's not even enough to pay his interest. He whips out a balance book, saying that he guesses it's off to the metal press for him then, and writes 25,000 on the sheet, handing it to Shinada, telling him to write his name, ripping it off when he does, sticking it to his forehead. Balance owed 1,327,534 yen. He leaves him in the street with a rumbling stomach. Suddenly, Shinada notices a sign. Hit a home run, get 5,000 yen. Only 200 yen per try. He whips out his wallet excitedly, counting the meager change he's got. 217 yen. His only hope now.
Oof. What was that, like £2.17 or something, right?
Not even.
No,
Probably like less.
Oh, I thought we worked out that it was, 10 to 1. So that would be like 20 quid.
Maybe that was the 80s. Okay.
No, not even close. It's closer to, a yen is closer to a pence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's, but I think that the pound is stronger these days, so I think it'd be like roughly £1.50.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm
cool.
Googling it now because our economy is tanking, so it's just
It's like £1.50.
Cool.
£2, something like that. On his way over to the batting cages, he gets accosted by a man who's raging at Shinada for coming on his girl. His girl?
Don't come on, my girl.
Shinada realizes that he must be referring to magical mystery melons from Nightlife magazine.
Right.
You gotta hand it to the girl for picking such a ripe name. Really says in one word what you're about to get your hands on. They're soft. They're succulent.
Melons aren't
No,
soft.
no. Just let this happen. And soon it'll all be over. Just
I can't keep hearing Chase
let
talk
it
about
happen.
milky tits and juicy melons.
just push through. On the other end of this is a Subway with our names on it.
They're soft. They're succulent. They jiggle to the touch. Freshest of the season by far. Anyway, Shinada doesn't have any time for this, so he finds an iron pipe on the streets and beats the shit out of the guy. His nutsack is a baseball, and Shinada's a real pinch hitter. He finally makes it over to the batting cages, which I hope you really enjoy the batting cages.
Is it easier doing it as
Choosing the easiest mode and hitting a homer almost immediately. It's clear that this isn't the first time that he's done this, as the woman at the counter clearly knows him, saying that she'll only be getting prizes for the hard course from now on. The one that's meant to simulate Sawada from the Gigants. No one's ever hit a homer on it before.
The Gigants.
I always in my mind pictured them as giant ants. Gigantic ants. The gigants.
Nice, good, yeah.
Nice batting. You play baseball back in school? Shinada winces as Takasugi's voice comes from the door, strolling up to him and taking the prize money away.
What?
Shinada begs, but Takasugi just looks at him with fake pity, asking why he really thought that he'd keep the change. He let him keep his change because he knew that this was what he was going to do with it. He leaves. Shinada's hanging his head in defeat. He leaves the cages, getting a call from Ushijima, telling him that he heard that he got paid. Come by for a drink and pay his tab.
This guy owes the entire town money.
He groans, hearing that Shinada's already got no money, but fuck it. He made that miso stew that Shinada likes, telling him to come over anyway. He runs over to Ushijima's place, a cute little restaurant that's pretty busy. He tells Shinada to take a seat, saying how he's not even getting a glass of water till he settles his tab, though he does accept gift certificates. Referring to the gift certificate for the 5,000 yen that he just got from the batting cages.
He looks old in this shot.
What is that? Is this him?
Yes.
Why does he look so much
older? He's like, for Yakuza, he's like granddad age.
I think he's like in his late 40s, 50s.
Jeez, Kazuma Kiryu is like 60 by this point, and
Kazuma Kiryu's
like
a god.
Yeah,
this
is the oldest man in
I
the
thought
franchise.
I thought this was a young man running about acting like this. Instead, it's an old middle-aged guy running around going, you must try juicy melons over at the slippery nip. Time for another soaping.
Oh god! Oh god!
Oh, another soaping.
I hate him so much. I can't deal with this anymore. Where's Kiryu?
Oh, I was so excited because I knew this was exactly how this episode was going to go down.
This is the shortest part, right? No. This is the shortest part, right?
Shinada asks how Ushijima knew about the gift certificate, with Ushijima calling him an idiot and reminding him that he's the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce. He told the cages to call him the first thing if Shinada ever hit a home run. He places a small bowl of miso in front of him, all for the low, low price of a 5,000 yen gift card. Shinada sheds a tear, Ushijima ripping it from in front of him. No free food this time, buddy boy. Door's over there. Ushijima's all for helping people out, but Shinada's just leeching off of people's generosity. From across the bar, some gruff men shout for their spaghetti. Shinada looks over, commenting about how they look like they're dressed for a funeral. Ushijima tells him to stop staring quickly, getting very serious, asking if he knows about the Tojo and the Omi. Two of their officers, Azumi and Takachi, were found dead today in Kenichicho.
Oh, this is taking place after that accident. Okay.
It's like right after, yeah.
Right.
So the Yakuza are in town for this funeral.
Cool. So we didn't get to see that either then.
No, I thought this was going to be like flashing back slightly before every time.
I thought it'd be like tiny little dominoes going ding, 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 ding that leads to this big car accident, but no, it's happened already off screen. Okay.
Well, it wasn't. I don't think I said it was a car accident. I think it was just.
Oh, why did I think it was a car accident?
I don't know.
Could have swore I've had that embedded in me. Well, how did they die then?
I don't know.
It's a car accident.
Accident implied.
I think Daigo said. Oh, it doesn't matter. Sorry,
They were found dead today in Kenichicho. They're saying it was an accident of a non-car variety.
Accident implies no one's to blame.
So now the Tojo and Omi got to collect the bodies and go after whoever caused said accident. The city is swarmed with both sides. Seems they're not the only ones weird in town. Some sneaky guy hiding his face with a hat and mask has also been snooping around, looking for somebody in Kenicho.
We don't need any more perverts.
No,
in
it's
this
Daigo.
story.
He's turned to becoming a vigilante or
Well,
something.
this is going to be some panty thief we have to stop in order to level up.
To level up milky thighs.
He gets kicked out and seemingly can't catch a break because guess who's waiting for him outside but good old Ono from the security company, showing off his sick new cheek hole. Shinada's way too tired for this, and besides, he knows Ono's just trying to run an insurance scam here. He hid the real bat, replaced it with a broken fake, and made Toriyama hold the broken one so that he could force him to pay for the damages and pocket it. How many broken bats does he think that he's seen in his life? It's pretty obvious. Shinada sticks his little pinky finger into Ono's face hole and twists it until he runs away crying like a little bitch, and Shinada heads home for the night. But, of course, Shinada's luck is ever flowing. It is a chalice, because right as he turns into the alley to his apartment, he's approached by the masked man. He's looking for somebody. Someone who's blended well into his surroundings. Nobody knows who he used to be.
That is Daigo,
That is Daigo Gojima. That's Taiko Dojima. Look at that hair.
That's fully
Taiko Dojima and wearing a pair
He knows
of
how to
sunglasses.
pick him, doesn't he?
He might as well be wearing a fake mustache. Taiko, is this a big twist? I'm really worried that we're building to this grand reveal.
Did he say he needs someone who can blend in? He's wanted by half the moneylenders in town, and is presumably well known for going about doing things like fingering a man's face hole.
Oh no.
The masked man is looking for somebody, someone who's blended well into his surroundings. Nobody knows who he used to be, of his past as a baseball player. Does that ring any bells? Shinada tries playing it off and heading off, but the man grabs his shoulder, telling him that try as he may, there's no hiding his Tokyo accent. He knows who he is, Nagoya Wyverns number 47, Tatsuo Shinada, and he has a job for him. He asks if he remembers the walk-off home run that cost him everything. He wants him to find out what really happened. Chapter 2.
Wow, short chapter. It's just his bad day.
Tatsuo Shinada's really bad, no good, very terrible day.
If this is all this long, we can get this one done in 2 hours.
Yeah, but also, if this is all building to the grand reveal that was Daigo all along,
We can skip
you
part
could have just
4.
said that episode 1. Yeah. All right, okay, cool. I'm in. If Daigo's float back in the plot, I'm in.
Chapter 2. Confronting the Past. Shinada sits in his apartment smoking. He's clutching a baseball. Written on it, 6/8/1997. I'm totally not going to pretend that I didn't just try and decide whether that was the 6th of August or the 8th of June. Tatsuo Shinada off Tokyo Gigants pitcher Sawada. It's the home run ball from that opening scene. Shinada thinks back to the prior night. The masked man telling him to find out what really happened and throwing him that very ball. Before he can ask any questions, though, voices come from afar. Men shouting about how they're looking for somebody. He's nearby. The masked man tells Shinada that they'll resume the conversation at another time, walking away without another word. Shinada tries chasing after him, demanding to know what he means. He hit that home run fair and square. There's nothing more to it than that. The next morning, there's a knock at the door. Shinada moans for Takasugi to cut him a break. But as the door opens, it's not Takasugi. It's the masked man, asking for Shinada's answer. Shinada again insists that there was nothing off about his home run. And yet, the very next day, you were permanently banned from baseball, accused of sign stealing and match fixing. That was your first time to bat in the major leagues, and you stepped up, not even knowing it would be your last. Shinada tries to ask him to leave, but he simply holds out a briefcase in front of him. He wants him to find out the truth of his truncated career. Once he does, he'll be paid the contents of this briefcase equal to the annual salary that he should have earned his first year as a player.
Damn.
20 million yen.
Okay.
Shinada asks who the man is, but he can't say. Only that the truth from 15 years ago is worth this much to him. The discussion of the hit throws Shinada into a rage, saying how everyone around its lives were thrown into disarray after that. He knows the man knows that, and he knows that the man should know that he wants to just forget it. The money won't change that. The man asks then if he's refusing an offer. Damn right a voice comes from the door. Accept the offer. The door opens. It's Takasugi. The masked man immediately pulls a gun on Takasugi. Hey, now, that's no way to say hello. Takasugi raises his hand. Consider me a main stakeholder in the well-being of our friend here. He strolls in, telling Shinada that he's not in any place to be turning down an offer like that. And if he really wants to, well... He picks up a hammer from the counter. Guess fingers are still on the table. How about we start with one?
Fingers are always on the table for this man.
How about we start with one?
In your face?
Make sure you tell the doctor it got caught in the press. Shinada tries, saying that they'll never pay out workers' comp for an injury from a non-employee, but Takasugi just smiles, pulling out a paper, waving it in front of Shinada's face. Employment forms. Lifted your signature off the receipt from last night. Gotta love copy paper. Congrats on the new job. He's kind of tired of waiting for all the teensy bitsy checks from all his porno gigs. So if he's got to get another job lined up, and he looks over at the masked man, that home run was legit. I'm sure of it.
What is going on?
Chase, Daigo's outfit is crap. It would have been kind of cool if the face mask was also black, but the fact it's a white face mask,
it looks
like it looks like he grabbed that like off a pharmacy's shelf rather than.
That's probably exactly what he did.
Yeah, but I was kind of hoping he took time to really put this whole outfit together. The rest of it looks very well put together.
I mean, most people in Japan are just going to be using pharmacy masks. This was the pre-COVID days. People weren't getting designer masks.
Well, he is Daigo Dojima.
He's going to put a sigil on his mask. Yeah. Also, that's the masked man.
Yeah. Sorry, you're right.
You're right. Yes, the masked man.
Suzuki. Sorry, no.
No, different character. Everyone's pretending to be someone else.
Right. What's happening?
That home run was legit. I'm sure of it. Shinada looks determined. The Gigant's pitcher Sawada threw out 6 straight curves, then ignored the catcher's signal and hurled a fastball down the middle. And I read it perfectly. Didn't steal signs or anything. Seems though that after the match, he had been accused of fixing it and banned from the league for life, but he adamantly denies it. So then it must have been a setup, the masked man says. Shinada has no clue though. Who would even go through all the trouble of exiling a no-name bench warmer like him? That's exactly what the masked man wants to know though. Someone who would have had something to gain. And he wants him to track him down. He's the only one who can. The man hands Takasugi his contact information as well as a bundle of bills for spending money, looking at Shinada, telling him that the job's his, and to not let him down. The man leaves, Takasugi turning to Shinada, whistling, saying how he had no clue he was dealing with a star. He crouches down, handing him the note. Actually being quite serious for a second, saying that he should want to find out who bummed his career. And besides, with this, he can finally settle all his tabs, clear his debts. Shinada tries saying that he needs to process, but Takasugi simply puts the note down, walking towards the door. What's there to process? You already have the job. This is your only choice. Well, this or your fingers.
I love him keep coming back to the fingers.
Shinada doesn't move until late in the night, his mind racing with thoughts. Ultimately, he heads out, wanting to clear his head. In the alley, Shinada ends up bumping into someone who recognizes him before Shinada does. It's Shirakawa. Someone he used to play baseball with in high school.
Oh.
And he's here for revenge.
Right. Baseball minigame side quest.
He's here for revenge. It was the summer regional final. The qualifier for them to... I wish I could skip these, but they're actually plot relevant. It was the summer regional final. The qualifier for them to go to nationals at Koshien... I've skipped so much of Koshien Stadium. The game was locked in a fierce duel between the pitchers, him, the ace of West Komuro, versus Akamatsu, a monster who could throw it 150 kilometers an hour. It was the bottom of the 9th. Score tied at 0. They had 2 outs, but also runners on 2nd and 3rd. The perfect setup for Shinada to bang out a walk-off home run. Seems Akamatsu was nervous because he ended up giving away 3 balls and no strikes. 4th ball, he deliberately threw a fastball outside the strike zone, hoping with first open that he'd simply give Shinada a walk. You understand baseball, right?
Yeah, I'm following. Yeah.
You understand baseball?
No.
Chase, what's the sentence?
Baseball.
It's the last chance to win the game.
Baseball. You've got 3 bases.
No,
There's people on 2nd and 3rd, but you can't move a base until somebody's running towards you. You can technically steal, but we're gonna ignore that. Right. So he's like, oh, I don't want you to actually hit a ball because then you can run and then all the batters can run because if you hit, everybody can run. What I want to do is just get it so that I fuck up so that you just get to walk. You go on first, the game ends, and it goes into overtime innings. And then we can bat. But Shinada's like, no, I gotta hit it because if I hit it, all 3 of us go and we win the game. And so he's like, I'm gonna throw it outside the strike zone, which is the box right in front of the batter. Yes. Baseball.
I'm running dry here. There's got to be something we can say.
Just let it run its course.
D-Reich.
Milky thighs?
5 hours.
Do you prefer milky thighs or baseball?
Okay.
I prefer milky thighs.
Thank you.
Yeah, at least I can follow milky thighs.
And Shinada easily could have gotten that walk-off home run, but no, he just had to swing at that wild pitch, which became a pop fly that went straight into the infielder's glove. Made the game go into extra innings, where at the top of the 10th, their batters ran Shirakawa ragged and made them lose. Shinada remembers saying how Shirakawa quit the team and then even left the school after that, having said that he blew out his shoulder. And yeah, he did, but he really left because he felt betrayed by Shinada, his own baseball dreams going down the drain after that. He followed Shinada's pro career after that, and all he saw was big game, and all he saw after that big game was scum who put himself before the team. He just had to go and prove that he'd get a hit off Akamatsu, who no one else could get a hit off, that he was better than everyone else. Shinada tries defending himself, saying that he legit thought that he could read the pitch and win it for the team, but Shirakawa ain't hearing it, saying how it was all just for Shinada's ego. So he's going to force Shinada to relive Akamatsu's pitching from 20 years back. He can replicate the pitch. If Shinada can hit it, then he'll believe that Shinada actually had the skills and chalk up 20 years ago to a harmless error. But if he chokes, it will prove that he was shit to begin with, prove that he robbed him of his baseball for his own pride, and he'll kill him.
It's going to be...
And he'll kill him.
Oh, God, therapy must be expensive in Japan. This poor guy, Shirakawa, if our man does manage to hit this ball, has wasted 20 years of his life furious about something that happened in high school.
They head to the batting cages where Shinada easily hits a homer off the first ball, commenting how Shirakawa's pitches are nothing compared to Akamatsu's. Even Shirakawa admitting that he's gotten a bit rusty. But he promises he'll be able to throw that 150-mile-an-hour pitch with some practice, and then he'll expose Shinada for the fraud that he is. Shirakawa goes to leave when a man in a suit enters the cage, asking where he's going. Didn't he say that he was going to beat Shinada to a pulp? Kurosaki, you were here the whole time? Shinada's shocked. It's yet another high school teammate. Seems he's the one who told Shirakawa where to find Shinada, knowing that he hated Shinada and hoping he'd killed him.
Okay.
But he's not here because of the high school grudge. No. He's pissed because he was going to shake down the stupid security guard for that home run King's record-setting bat and sell it off. But Shinada fucked that up. Oh, Shinada fucking everybody up. But also, why is everybody on?
This is just a game. This entire part is just about just a man hated by everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, it is quite easy to just join that crowd. Just give yourself over to the waves of loathing. I do not care for this man, this pathetic loser of a man.
See, it seems that Kurosaki here is a broker. He turns baseball paraphernalia into big money, and Nagoya is chock full of baseball fans. They even have their own team. Anyway, of course he's going to make Shinada pay, yada yada, they head off. Shinada leaves the cages, but it's clearly a day for old faces, because guess who's waiting for him outside but his old junior high baseball coach, Igarashi.
Is he on the same block he went to school on? What?
Has he got just a big neon sign above his head?
He went to school in Tokyo, which is like the other side of the country. Seems that he was a weird coach, but like only for Shinada. One time he made him nap in the shade while everybody else practiced. Another time he had him do vocal training on the roof. He made him clean his bathroom once with a toothbrush. Even made him wax his car once. So we admitted to that one probably wouldn't help. Anyway, he's a retiree and he's a retiree now. And he saw his duel with Shirakawa. And guess what, buddy boy? Igarashi is going to start coaching him again.
Is he like a Mr. Miyagi type where it's like,
yeah, he tells him
and...
to go fishing.
Right, okay.
I'm very confused by the sudden coaching. Shinada heads out, overhearing a couple people talking on the street outside, miserable. Well, it's back to main plot.
I was going to say, let me guess, is it the two lunch staff that worked at the canteen in his school?
No, this one's actually very important.
Okay.
So I'm going to start over. Very confused by Igarashi's sudden offer to coach, Shinada heads out, overhearing a couple people talking in the street, miserable. It seems that the Gigants have finally selected their manager, Fujita, the prior manager and coach of the Nagoya Wyverns.
Oh, his old coach.
Spirits aren't high over the decision, with them saying that they may as well cancel the next season already. Shinada rushes over to the big news screen, confirming the news with his own eyes. People around him discuss the news. Seems that Fujita doesn't have a great rep in Nagoya, being the manager when the match-fixing scandal went down. And now going from Nagoya to Tokyo, it's a slap in the face.
Second chances have come back again.
Snake.
Yeah.
Shinada says to himself that those idiots don't know anything and that he just took the fall like any manager would. But they overhear him, and given that they're diehard Nagoya fans, drag him into a back alley where they beat the shit out of Shinada, laughing about how it's a great stress reliever after the Wyvern shit performance that year. They leave, and Shinada gets a call from Milky asking if they can talk, telling him to drop by the brothel. They have leftover Christmas cake.
He's just lying on the ground, bruised and bloodied after the worst days. Yeah, I can make some time.
Yeah.
On his way, he decides to go fishing for Igarashi, which somehow gains him the magic power to slow time while in the batting cages. Nice. While heading for more batting practice, he gets sweet-talked by the manager of a club called Strawberry into applying for a job as a secretary for a little corporate company. He applies, acing the interview and starting work right away. He enters the boss's office to find him in a loincloth. Just another day at the office, as they say. Now, you swore total subservience, he says to Shinada, as a son to his father. So strip, Shinada, and come to daddy. The president is thrilled by surprising Shinada with this. The mere thought of how bizarre the situation is making his heart throb, amongst other things. Now, Shinada, it's time for you to end up on my lap. Do as you're told, my son, or daddy's gonna have to spank you. Shinada, of course, says no. Says hell no. You just keep getting better and better. I knew I had you pegged as the perfect wayward son. Father knows best.
No.
He approaches Shinada, making him walk backwards, where two more men walk into the room, also in loincloths. But I can see that you have a wild streak that requires a bit of discipline. As a father, I hate to do this, but you'll thank me for this in the end. Get ready for some tough love.
Specifically, because Chase has put the picture on screen, the dialogue isn't as a father, it's as your father. He is playing out a very particular fantasy here. And I would like it to stop.
These are some of the most highly rated games ever made, right? Critically.
Indeed.
A rabid fan base, Neil. A rabid fan base.
Right. He punches them all in the cock or whatever. And
Shinada beats the shit out of them, takes their money, and goes, never to speak of this again.
Good.
Anyway, Coach wants us to sing some karaoke. Don't you know singing is an effective form of exercise? Do you know how much... Question. Do you know how much energy you expel when you sing?
I don't know.
Do you, Neil?
No.
Well, depending on the song, around 10 kilocalories. For those 3 minutes, singing uses about as much energy as walking down the block. And also helps keep time for batting.
I follow the rhythm idea.
I'm going to proceed to glaze over like 99% of coaches' training. Basically, it's go do mini games, baseball, pool, karaoke, UFO catcher, eating strawberries, eating chicken, catching more fish.
Ooh.
The fish catching animation looks great.
Yeah. Coach finally wraps up Shinada's training, saying that he always was his best student. He retired because no one wanted to listen to him anymore, saying his methods were outdated because they weren't science-based. Nerds. But seeing Shinada, clearly his methods are much better than all those phony science nerds ones, so he's coming out of retirement. Good for him.
Does Shinada want any of this? Is he like, sure, okay,
I can't remember. What's he supposed to be doing for a Daigo?
Oh, I don't know.
Finding out. He's supposed to be finding out who set him up.
Daigo's not here.
Sorry, the mystery
the
man.
masked man.
He's supposed to be finding out who set him up on that, who fixed that match.
Who's taking time out of his important mergers acquisitions D12 chess where he's missing to reach out to an ex-baseball player and say, hey, I charge you with solving your own mystery.
It could be Daigo's twin brother. We don't know yet.
Maybe that would add a bit of spice to whatever the fuck is going on.
Anyway, so there's about 50 baseball sub-story challenges cages, so I'm going to skip basically all of them, except for...
You couldn't skip the daddy
No,
mission.
no, I couldn't. Except for the guy who you help work up the courage to get a circumcision.
Which of these buttons mutes you, Chase?
He comes up to Shinada one day, and he tells him how he's about to have surgery. He's so nervous. He doesn't think he'll ever be able to hold his bat again. And then he's like, if you show me how to bat, then I'll get brave. And then Shinada hits a home run, and then he's like, great, now I can go get circumcised.
So he showed him how to baseball, and that made him feel good about his cock.
Well, he was worried that if he got the surgery, he'd never be able to hold his bat ever again.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, as of listeners, officially the gloves are off as far as monetization goes. So just expect a lot of swearing as we go.
We'll try and get it back on the next part.
Yeah, I've resigned myself with this one. Fuck this part, Chase.
Did I remind you that this part's actually my favorite?
This is terrible.
How far through are we? Are we barely started this bit?
We are chapter 2, remember?
Oh, not even halfway.
On the more main mission baseball stories, Shirakawa has hired a baseball assassin to kill Shinada. And he bets him 50K to hit a ball off him. Okay. The guy tries to use cheating by using sandpaper on the balls, but like Shinada, it's pro, so he hits it. Anyway, Shirakawa's been watching, and the grudge ain't over, because he just beat some 2-bit hack pitcher. He'll be in top form soon, and then he's going to strike Shinada's ass out. It's not long before a father shows up with his son, hoping for Shinada to help him evaluating his son's pitching. His son needs to go pro. His son wants to go pro, so he needs a sports scholarship to go to Seisho High School, one of the best schools for baseball in the country, who are expected to show at the Koshien National Tournament, where all of the talent scouts will be. The student is bummed when Shinada manages to get a home run off him, saying that his dad and him had agreed that they would turn down Seisho's offer if he did. Saying that there's more to that story, the kid always having been a fantastic pitcher, to the point where there was a mysterious benefactor that showed up, saying that he could get him an invitational place at Seisho High in return for a large fee, 5 million yen.
Right, this father definitely didn't want to send his son to this school. Because in what world is it fair to be like, if you can get a pitch off of this professional player of this sport in order to begin your education in this sport, I'll let you go.
Well, he says that it was never on talent, but the dad fully believed that it was worth it for his son's talent that he believed in. The kid is upset to hear that his dad was willing to accept a bribe if he won the contest, saying how his dad shouldn't have to put himself through that. He can play baseball anywhere. Wherever he goes, he'll never stop believing in his dream. The talent will win out in the end. Obviously, the mysterious benefactor was Kurosaki, who shows up right as the father decides to turn him down so the story can keep moving. But he wants his damn money. He already made the arrangements to get the kid into Seisho. Shinada warns them that even if he does get in, if the kid goes pro, Kurosaki's just going to keep shaking him down for more money. So the father and son turn Kurosaki down, thanking Shinada and leaving. Kurosaki curses Shinada out like a sailor for fucking up another one of his jobs and storms off, swearing to kill him, as everybody wants to.
I miss the Florist of Sai.
Sometime later, Shinada's as per usual at the cages when they see a new machine that throws pitches at 145 miles an hour. Woo! If he can get 10 hits off it, then he gets a special deluxe prize. And Shinada loves baseball prizes. Of course.
Fuck off! Make it stop! What? Why do you do this? You're supposed to be my friend.
You said you cut stuff.
I hate this.
Of course, Shirakawa shows up to use the machine because, the high school rival Akamatsu threw 150. So if Shinada can hit that, 145 should be cake. Shinada's just got to get 5 owners to hope.
I miss the rubber bear. I do. I'm sorry. I know I said it 2 episodes ago that I bet we'll start wishing we had the rubber bear. I said that half jokingly, but I do miss the rubber bear.
Shinada's got to hit 5 homers off this machine to prove he's not a phony. Shinada's exhausted with his test, but he'll do it. But not for him. For the super deluxe prize, obviously. Macaroni hit the ball with his stick and he heads out to collect his prize. Shirakawa giving him a luxury Italian scarf. Because it seems that Shirakawa...
The chicken shop run by a chicken.
Shirakawa was the one who set up the entire contest. He reserved the machine and everything. Had to make sure that Shinada's game was still worthy of his pitching. But also the fuck. Shinada, what is he meant to do with the scarf? A bit later, Shinada gets approached by a sleazy sports interviewer that Kurosaki sent. Hearing who sent...
I don't know who anyone is anymore. You took the amount of...
Isn't he a sleazy sports journalist?
No, he's a sleazy sex journalist. Okay. Hearing who sent him, Shinada wants nothing to do with it, but they get to talking regardless. Seems that the reporter also used to actually be a wyvern, joining a bit after Shinada left, but he never made it off the farm, quit after a couple of years. He heard quite a lot of shit about Shinada when he went there, and now his paper's doing a feature on baseball waning popularity, so he wants to track it back to the source. And of course, he can't do that without including Shinada. His sign stealing brought the match fixing under public scrutiny, losing the entire game for a lot of fans, let alone just the wyverns. Shinada tells him to get the fuck out, but the reporter is relentless, saying how how should he just admit it? How much do you get paid for betraying the sport? Does he feel any remorse? The manager was in on it, wasn't he? This is the kind of juicy news the readers love. They'll pay him handsomely for the interview. Shinada just fucking ignores him. So, of course, it always will. They'll settle this in the diamond. He used to be a pitcher and a wyvern. If Shinada can get 5 homers off him, he'll give up. And as always, Shinada does that.
Every issue settled by him hitting a few balls. Why did they bother giving him fighting, like a fighting thing, when every single issue is, right, I'm going to fucking kill you.
down to the
Unless you come down here right now. I'm going to kill you, or come down here right now. I've got a machine set up.
Oh. The reporter agrees to give up, paying him an interview fee regardless, because Shinada gave him even juicier goss, that his game hasn't decreased at all. He still has pro-level skill. Despite the permanent... Okay, this is actually important. Despite the permanent ban, Shinada has clearly trained every day in the hopes of making a comeback one day. He wouldn't do that unless he was truly innocent. And because he knows that in his heart, he has the resolve to press on.
I don't think the game needed to convince me that he was innocent of this baseball crime he's been accused of.
Kurosaki walks in, shouting about how he can't keep... Why can't anybody keep a grudge against this fucking jackass? Kurosaki, why are you still holding on to yours? The reporter heads off, Kurosaki calling him a shithead as he does. Sick burn, man. Shinada goes to leave as well, telling Kurosaki that as he goes that he can't keep pulling people's strings forever. It's going to snap right back at him. It's not long after that Kurosaki reaches out directly to Shinada wanting to meet. They meet at an old baseball diamond, Kurosaki saying how he never got to pitch a real game in high school, always a backup. Shinada remembers Kurosaki being a pitcher, saying that in terms of raw power, he even outclassed Shirakawa, and he was one of the best of the best. But alas, high school ball is about winning tournaments, and no coach would rely on a pitcher who would melt down on walks. The only ones who get to play were the ones in control, like Shirakawa. So, when they finally made it to Koshien, it was all the more insulting to watch all his teammates, including Shinada, bask in the glory while he warmed the bench, cheering them on in a game that he never got to play.
So hang on, he also has a grudge, a
Yes, he does.
baseball-related grudge from high school.
Yes, he does.
Christ. Because he was sort of like, oh, that loser there, you were speaking, the first guy, that loser there, he was still hanging on to that grudge from high school. Anyway, I've got some modern professional work-related grudges for you. JK, I still remember how I never got a game.
Did he go through all that training just to make them look good? Spent all his high school years just to amount to nothing? Of course he'd grow to hate baseball. So this is it, his final showdown, his pitching against Shinada's batting to prove once and for all that they aren't so different. Shinada got tarred and feathered by the pros. He should hate baseball just as much as he does. Despite Kosaki's magic ability to set balls on fire,
Amazing.
He's a shitty pitcher and loses womp womp. He finally gives up, seeing the truth about Shinada with his own eyes. Anyway, he's skipping town. His broker business was screwed up a long time ago anyway. Just like everything else for him, it's all turns to shit. Also, he's on the Yakuza shit list, so he kind of wants to get out of Dodge. He just wanted to settle this baseball grudge first.
Any particular Yakuza?
Yeah, who knows?
Okay, so we're still ignoring the Yakuza part of this Yakuza
Is this
game.
a Yakuza game?
Apparently.
It's a baseball game.
It's just so
It's a baseball idol bear hunting taxi game.
Right.
This has always been the plan, but Shinada just moved up the timeline. He needed to settle things with Shinada so he could finally be done with baseball once and for all, get closure. But Shinada thinks that he is full of shit. His baseball pitches weren't from someone who isn't regularly practicing. Why would somebody who hates baseball be practicing? He laughs, saying that maybe Shinada has a point, heading off, telling him to take a good care of Shirakawa. He's still stuck in the past as much as he was.
Shirakawa hired a man to kill me.
Looks like our team was full of problem kids. Give it up for old West Comaro.
It's like he was part of the fucking Yellow Jackets or something. Like
Shortly after, it's finally time. The final duel with Shirakawa. His ultimate revenge for Shinada ruining his life and career those 20 long years ago. Shinada doesn't actually think that he can hit a Nakamatsu pitch, reminding Shirakawa of his destroyed shoulder. But it seems that he'll never pitch lefty again. But after he saw Shinada totally steal those signs, he switched to pitching righty for revenge. And now it's time. Think back, Shinada, to that day. Visualize it. Bottom of the ninth in a scoreless tie. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. On the mound is Akamatsu, the tournament's top pitcher. He steps up to the pitcher's mound and flame on!
Oh my god, this man is just on fire.
He throws fastball after fastball after fastball, but Shinada has the power of God and anime on his side, slamming Shirakawa's balls into the stratosphere. And with that, it's over. Shirakawa finally admits defeat, not just to Shinada, but to himself, saying how he always knew that Shinada wasn't a fraud. He could just never bring himself to admit it. But he can't keep lying to himself. The only one who has robbed him of baseball was himself.
20 years down the pan.
So for what it's worth, he doesn't think Shinada actually stole those signs. Anyway, he also took like several weeks holiday just to come down to Nagoya for this, and his colleagues at work are probably wondering his, so bye!
Just a loser man surrounded by loser people playing a loser sport. Sorry, baseball fans.
So that's both That's both of the school characters are gone now from the story.
Did you enjoy baseball?
Yeah,
All right.
big time.
Okay, so
Do you
what did
enjoy
we learn?
sex?
We learned that he was not a
Big
fraud.
time.
That's what we learned. We learned that he's not a fraud.
So-
and he's
so-
practiced every day with the hope of getting a second chance at his dream.
Yeah. So, you like baseball? Yeah.
No, Chase, we're done.
Oh, well. Do you like sex?
Not anymore, I don't.
Well, well, that's too bad because Shinada's heading to a brothel where the girls happen to look like Uno and Coach Fujita, just his type. He also engages in just a light spot of competitive chicken racing, which is an entire minigame where you breed and raise chickens to become the next racer.
Right.
I won't go into that.
Do any of the chickens go on to run a bowling alley?
No, but he also saves a 17-year-old from being forced into sex work by some Yakuza.
I mean, good for him.
Tonal
but
shifts,
this needs to
man.
stop.
They're trying to collect on a debt for her father's medical bills and forcing her to go into sex work to pay that off.
Jesus.
He also waxes about a shockingly balanced view of the sex industry, not seeing it as an inherently bad thing to be involved with, but simultaneously seeing, that dark underbelly and knowing how it's, not an industry to be joined lightly and all that.
I mean, that makes sense. He does work in the sex industry.
Yeah.
But I forgot. Milky called us, remember? Do you remember when Milky called us?
Just really forgot that happened.
Milky has Christmas cake. Okay. They meet up on the roof of Club Futamoto. Milky immediately concerned seeing Shinada's bruising, which remember when he got beat up by those baseball fans like 2 hours ago?
It was about a month ago at this point.
He's been bruised in every cutscene this entire time because I guess the flag to remove the bruising doesn't go away until after this cutscene.
Oh.
So he's literally been walking around town bruised the entire time. Yeah. But he tells her not to worry about it.
Chase, what's his demeanor in the scenes? Like, what is he like? Stoic and gruff.
He's very silly goofy.
Silly goofy.
He's silly goofy through most of the things. Either silly goofy or just fucking exhausted and annoyed. And no in between.
I know someone with those two modes.
Neil just winked at Chase, everyone.
He changes the subject, asking her if there's anything that she'd like to forget. She thinks for a second, saying how working in the industry she does, it's harder to find things that she'd like to remember. Some days, she wishes she could start over, reinvent who she is. She looks over at Shinada, asking if he remembers the first day that he walked into her club 15 years ago. It was the lowest day of his life. He just needed someone to talk to. Anyone. That landed him on her doorstep. He paid for a whole 50-minute session, and they just sat there with him holding her, or with her holding him, not even saying a word. It may have just been another day at work for her, but for him, it saved his life. He suddenly jumps up, grabbing her hands. Say, let's run away together, just the two of us. We'll skip town on the first train tomorrow. They dance around the roof, living their fantasy of running off and starting fresh somewhere else. Milky saying how she'd become an elementary school teacher, that's always been her dream. Suddenly, her phone rings. Milky immediately breaking away. It's a client. She's needed downstairs. She hangs up, rushing back to Shinada and hugging him, thanking him. Well, back to it. Reality. It's too late to run away. She heads back downstairs, leaving Shinada alone on the roof. The camera panning out to reveal a quietly listening on Takasugi.
Which one was Takasugi?
Yeah, that was going to be my question, Chase. Who was Takasugi? The loan shark.
The loan shark.
Okay.
Loan shark. Okay. And do we know who Takasugi works for? Nobody. He just runs his own loan shark business.
Remember, Ono was saying that he's part of the Nagoya family?
That's it. Thank you. It got lost in the baseball.
In the baseball. Shinada heads home, waking up the next morning from a definitely unexpected visit from Takasugi, saying how it's real early, but Shinada actually looks cheerful. Did he get himself a happy ending last night, wink wonk? Shinada laughs, saying something like that. He's decided to finally stop running from his past. He's going to get to the bottom of his baseball ban. Takasugi asks if he can fill him in on the details of what provoked the allegations in the first place. The game was at the bottom of the ninth. 2 outs. Game was as good as theirs if they could get one good swing. So Fujita sent him out as a pinch hitter, an absolute no-namer playing his first game with the pros. He was up against the Gigant's legendary pitcher Sawada and kept hitting fouls off of his curveballs until finally on that 7th pitch, he threw a fastball and Shinada slammed it into the stands. But the next day, the home run was struck from the records on accusation of Shinada stealing signs. If you can read the other team's signs, you'll know what the pitch will be. There was no video evidence or anything, but a guy came forward claiming that Shinada asked him to steal the Gigant's signs and relay them from the stands. The guy, a younger guy from Shinada's high school team,
Oh, no.
who claimed at first that the money was too much to resist, but then saying that he just couldn't stand the guilt. Shinada's high school team was full of little shits, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's just no one we've met yet.
Will we ever meet, or is it one of the many characters who tracked him down?
Done.
Still can't piece together how this fits into anybody else's story. I miss Daigo.
Did he go to school with...
I love that. I won't say anymore, but this is actually potentially the most important one for the main story.
What, his baseball career? Okay.
Part 3?
Not even close. Shinada, though, says that he hasn't seen the guy in years, let alone paid him. Shinada tried getting an answer out of him, but he wouldn't say anything. By the next time Shinada went to ask him, he had been declared a missing person. With no other leads, Shinada decided that it was time to give up, moving on to his new life as a journalist. Takasugi, though, points out the weirdness of why did the police get involved over sign stealing? Seems that there was suspicion over match fixing, not just a single player doing it to pad their own stats, but part of a larger gambling conspiracy. The entire team got investigated, and who knows, maybe it was a conspiracy against the entire team instead of just Shinada, but regardless, only he was banned. Only other consequence was that Fujita was forced to resign. He had it even worse than Shinada at the time. Shinada has a lot of respect for Fujita. It was him who discovered him on the farm, realizing his potential and personally coaching him to make it to the major leagues. He can only hope that he wasn't used to bring Fujita down. He couldn't ask the team either. Didn't have any friends there. Well, other than one, the team's massage therapist, Uno. These days, he's got an acupuncture clinic. This is his pal who he owes 30 grand to.
Yeah.
They decide to meet up with Uno, but he's not at his clinic. Although he did leave it unlocked. Moron. Shinada, knowing Uno, thinks that he'll be out at the massage parlors, but he's almost as broke as Shinada, so he likes to do photo tours, going from parlor to parlor, checking out the pictures posted outside of the girls. They decided
to take home,
No, just to look at them.
just to stare at.
Jesus.
Just to stare at in the street.
That is a level of broke.
That's
isn't
sad.
it?
Well, it's just all the brothels that have, the scantily clad underwear photos of their girls.
It's
It's 2012.
The
Internet
internet
porn.
is there.
Don't question it. Because, oh, no, you forgot. Uno has a fetish for amateurs. So he needs to find the amateurs at the brothels.
Of course, amateur porn hadn't made it anywhere close to the internet in 2012.
Exactly. Correct.
What's amateur porn? Who knows?
Correct. They decide to track him down, going to the info booth to get info on new girls, Uno's favorite. There's Momoe-chan from Resort Boing and Noriko-chan from Boom and Bust. Momoe-chan's 29 years old with a hefty pair of D's. She's got a real
The thing is, folks, you don't quite get it because maybe you've listened to every episode and you think you know Chase, but knowing Chase outside of the Lord Dumb studio and how camp Chase is as a person.
You didn't get the hand signals, guys. You don't get the hand signals.
It's like staring deep into Neil's soul.
Jiggling.
With every single perverted line. And there was a point there where they just stared Neil dead in the eye and moved their hands up and down across their chest to signify jiggling as he went, a hefty pair of D's. And it's a side of Chase I never thought I'd witness. But we have today in the studio.
Thanks, because Jesus now spat their drink over
All over the laptop.
And there's a clean-up going on. We'll be back after this short intermission.
It's the fact you are, speed running this bit too, because you can tell that we're losing interest. So what you're going to have is just so then the Yakuza came along and suddenly every pair of D's on to the next scene. Here's a baseball.
The fact you can't stop yourself putting lines like that in.
Zen.
Okay.
Momoe-chan's 29 years old with a hefty pair of D's. She's got a real erotic mix of adult sultriness along with a fresh-faced newbie appeal.
Oh, gross. Gross.
Who wrote this part? Must be a different person.
There's not two people to describe it. There is.
Have you taken the time to write a descriptive paragraph for numerous pictures of women in the window?
No. So they're not looking at pictures of women in the window. They've gone to you know how Colorado has those like booths where you can find out about the sex workers in the area.
Yeah.
There's like a guy there who tells you about them. So they've come here to be like, who are the amateurs? We want to go looking for the best amateurs.
Right.
There's the other one, Noriko-chan, who's 25, and she's a real perky little gal. She's got B cups along with a fit body that makes all the guys in Kenichio drool. Normally, Uno'd go for the younger gal, but he's a pretty twisted guy. An older gal who's new to the job might be the sort of thing that gets him going. They find out that he'd been at Boom and Bust all night, creeping on every pic, then headed to another info booth, resuming his hunt to humor his hidden desires.
Yeah, he's a pervert.
This is our one friend.
And oh yeah, there's new options. They've got Korea-chan over at Operation Panties. And this lady is dynamite. She's 34, but she doesn't look a day over 20. And an industry vet too, having just changed parlors, makes you want to wax philosophical over the meaning of age. There's also Mika-chan over at Rub and Tux. Girl's barely 20, and we're talking farm fresh gents. And I kid you not, she's got zero industry experience. Unfortunately, she's also just not very attractive. They finally managed to find Uno over at Rub and Tux, getting bounced for not being able to pay. Him moaning about how their sign says browsing welcome. Okay, we're finally beyond that. He, of course, demands his money.
Baseball.
Shinada heads to the diamond. Foaming in the mouth. He, of course, demands that his money the second he sees Shinada so that he can get rubbed, but changes his tune when Takasugi shows up offering to pay his expenses, not wanting to get involved with somebody shady like him, and he runs away. Takasugi's got a plan, though, asking Shinada for Uno's number. He calls up, putting on a soft ladylike voice, asking for their longest massage course, then hanging up. That old perv. He was so giddy to get laid, I nearly threw up in my mouth. And so did you two.
Yes.
They head over to pay the old. I love that I didn't write any of those. Those were all basically word for word taken from the game.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
They had to pay the old perv a visit, but bizarrely, the trip over proves fraught with danger.
Oh.
As they're crossing the street, a car nearly hits Shinada, but he manages to throw himself out of the way in time. Then, as they're passing by a building, a large pane of glass falls from the sky. Again, almost landing on top of Shinada, but missing him just barely, shattering by his side.
This man walking through a Final Destination movie, like...
As we went by, I got no idea what was going on. A bullet seemed to...
He can't walk more than 3 feet without someone trying to kill him.
They manage, though, to make it to Uno's clinic, although he's none too happy to see them. But given his history with Shinada, and the fact that he's paying, even if it is Takasugi's money, he lays Shinada down to get a massage. It's the first massage that Shinada's gotten since Uno treated him back in his baseball days. Well, other than the sexy kind, at least. Shinada asks why he left the team. He was the best massage therapist that there was. Surely they begged him to stay. He makes jokes about not being able to get the time off for the best discounts at the titty bars across Japan, before finally admitting that, like Shinada, he was fired. Told over the phone that they found a better trainer. Didn't even let him finish out his contract, just paid him out of it. Shinada never knew. The two of them had never talked baseball since 15 years ago, so it was all the more surprising to Uno when Shinada asks if he thinks anybody would have benefited from his firing. But honestly, he can't think of anyone. Everyone lost. The team, the managers, the fans, hell, even the Yakuza. All that match-fixing stuff led to a crackdown on baseball gambling. The two families that controlled the gambling scene couldn't keep their business afloat after that, pulling out of Nagoya entirely. You know, two big families, the Tojo and the Omi or something.
Okay, so blank slate right now then, because nobody benefited from his scandal.
Except for anyone that would want their own side weakened. This was like 20 years ago, wasn't it?
15
years ago, God.
97.
Like before all the other games except Zero.
Yeah, okay.
They finish up the massage, Shinada thanking him for the info and going to leave, but Uno stops them before they get to the door, saying that Shinada forgot his phone, picking it up from the bed and going to hand it to him. But he freezes, suddenly saying that he remembers something. Was it the phone that made him remember? 15 years ago, right before he was canned, a player forgot his phone in the massage room just like this. So Uno took it to him. That player was Manabe, the Wyvern's former cleanup hitter. He went berserk over losing his phone, and that same day, Uno found the phone in the massage room. He hurried to the locker room to return it, only to be shouted at by Manabe, accused of stealing it. Manabe checked it frantically, shouting about how Uno better not have rooted through his texts. Uno hadn't owned a phone at the time, so he wouldn't have known how to check even if he wanted to. But regardless, Manabe's behavior was weird. Could it have been something to do with the match fixing on that phone? Something Manabe thought Uno had seen that he wasn't meant to? Is that why he was fired? They decided to pay Manabe a visit. He retired about 5 years back, trying to run a few businesses afterwards, but only managing to keep a small yakiniku place in Karibacho afloat. Uno actually tried going there once, only for Manabe to throw him out. They head over, once again almost getting run over by a car in the process, but managed to make it to Manabe's restaurant. He does recognize Shinada, but he's clearly none too happy to see him, wanting him to get the hell out. Takasugi looks at him, asking if that's really how he treats a former teammate that he hasn't seen in 15 years? Or is there something that maybe Manabe doesn't want him finding out? Maybe something along the lines of match fixing. Manabe pulls out a massive chef's knife, leveling it over at Takasugi. Say those words again, and I'll make sure they'll be your last. He quickly puts together that Uno sent them, and that they want 15 years ago cleared up. And he's willing to tell them, but only if they agree to not go prying any deeper into them. Not all games were legit.
Okay.
I'm getting no reactions from you.
Well, I mean,
the reactions have died.
No. We're following you. There's nothing to react to this. This is a red herring. This isn't relevant to anything. We're going to move on. I don't think Manabe's important.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
He has no clue where they were coming from, but he got texts constantly telling him to steal signs and throw games. Anyone who disobeyed was inevitably shuffled off the team within months. Okay. Shinada never would have known it because it was only the starters getting the instructions. He wasn't big enough yet. Baseball's a lot like meat. When serving meat to customers, someone in the back has to rip out the blood, guts, and ugly shit that ain't fit to eat first. Only after all that effort do the clean and pretty parts reach the table. Same thing with baseball. Some things you can't drag out into the open. No need to either. Nobody watching the game could stand the sight, and it's better not to know. What happened behind the scenes? Just forget about it. Takasugi asks if Manabe had ever thought to try and find the mastermind. The statute of limitation would have expired for him by now that he's out of the league, and he had a thought, but ultimately, why put himself in danger? Seems that there actually once was a player that tried blowing the whistle after he got traded to another team. Must have been guilty. He ended up dying in an accident. That's why he needs Shinada to give it up. It's dangerous enough, them just talking like this. Hasn't he already had a few near misses?
Ooh, okay.
But Shinada needs to know one more thing. Why is he telling him that? If it's so dangerous, why is he even talking? Simple as this. All the illicit stuff stopped right after you left the game. That's why I thought you, out of all people, you have the right to know.
Weird.
Doesn't really track for me, but yeah, sure. Okay, so who was fixing? Probably someone in the Yakuza.
Yeah. It's got. This has to tie back to the grander conspiracy. So, or are we just
The plan
a villain for
wasn't.
him?
The plan presumably wasn't for him to hit that very surprising home run. There, because he did get set up. Yeah, who would have wanted to end match fixing?
I don't know. Who would have?
Okay. Yeah.
They head back to Uno, catching him up, wondering who would fix the matches. The answer's simple. My oldest son could have figured it out. The Yakuza running the baseball gambling. Shinada says, "Oh, he's finally caught up to my son. Grade 6. If all that business went out because of Shinada's fall, who would want that? The local civilians? Maybe not, though. Right after the Tojo and Omi left, the Nagoya family sprung up out of the woodworks. There's always been Yakuza here. Wait, though, wouldn't the Nagoya family benefit? If they were able to fill a power vacuum left by the Tojo and the Omi, did they make the match fixing accusations? Hearing the Nagoya family are involved, Uno urges Shinada to drop it, but he can't back down anymore. He begs Takasugi to introduce him to the head of the Nagoya family, but he refuses, backing up, telling Shinada that it's time to drop the case. Shinada doesn't understand. Doesn't he want his money? Isn't he invested? Personally, I'd rather put your fingers through a metal press. He takes a deep breath, sighing heavily. Sorry, but I ain't connected to the Nagoya family. Never even met him. When I came to this town a year ago, I caught wind of a gang that everybody's known about but nobody's ever seen. I learned that just by dropping their name made people wet their pants. So I made that my bluff of choice. He doesn't know anything about the Nagoya family. Nobody does.
Okay. So he was lying earlier. Did he not say he was connected? Yeah.
Uno scoffs, saying how he didn't need to be scared of Takasugi then, calling him a bullshit scam artist, but Takasugi grabs him by the collar, screaming, what the hell does it take him for? A lone shark with no teeth. Go ahead and hit me. I'll sue. Shinada tries to break them up, saying how the path's crystal clear. They just got to get the truth from the head of the Nagoya family, and the 20 mil is as good as theirs. But how are they going to find the family? Suddenly, Uno looks around, asking if the others smell something. Takasugi shouts that it's a gas leak, running to open the windows. Just outside, Shinada sees someone at the door, running after them. They manage to catch them, demanding to know what they were trying to do, leaking gas into the building. The man shifts uncomfortably, trying to apologize. Look out, Shinada! From above, a construction carrying heavy beams releases its load, the beams falling from the sky. Shinada jumps out of the way as the beams land directly on the gas leaker.
Why are they fucking Looney Tunesing the assassination attempt? Well, boss, after the car miss, he didn't go through the giant pane of glass we had carrying along the road. I'm afraid the girders we dropped from 4 stories up missed him, and for some reason he didn't fall for the train tunnel I painted on an opposing wall. Walked right past it.
Yeah.
Takasugi looks at the beams as the crowd gathers around them, commenting how it's a hell of an accident. But Shinada's eyes are trained elsewhere. On the roof of a nearby building, he saw someone, but someone who shouldn't have been there. His former Wyvern's teammate. He walks up to a man in a construction outfit who had joined the crowd, grabbing him by the shoulder and turning him around. It's Sakai. Why would you kill him? Shinada looks at him with cold eyes, and with a neutral expression, he simply says that there's too many people around, leading them away. In a nearby construction yard, he greets them, telling Shinada and Uno that they look good, before continuing to just casually pick up a metal pipe, saying that it's not fair, but to forgive them. Forgive him. Shinada, do you know what the most beautiful play a batter can make? A sacrifice fly. He sacrifices himself for the good of the team. He doesn't get on base, but he contributes more than anyone. Shinada, I'll never forget what you did, so forgive me. Sakai comes swinging, but Shinada swings harder, knocking him to the ground, demanding to know what's going on. Sakai looks up at him with sad eyes. Back when you got called up, you landed in the wrong place at the wrong time. You were the only one on the team who didn't know the truth. It was so convenient. You should know, Shinada. I think we did you wrong. But I've never regretted sacrificing you, not for a second. We threw you to the wolves for the good of Nagoya. Shinada's head reels, demanding to know what that means. Sakai looks up with his sad eyes, his mouth opening, beginning to speak, when his eyes go wide. Above from the scaffolding, a massive industrial light is pushed off the top of the scaffolding. Sakai looks at Shinada, leaping to his feet and pushing him out of the way, right as the light lands on the ground, landing directly on Sakai's head. They rush to his side, but it's no use. He's gone.
Oh.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rip.
Rip it. Rip. So that was another member of the team who's just been Looney Tuned.
And bear in mind that the 2 Yakuza bosses have been Looney Tunes as well. So that's connected. That death is connected. Why would you want to kill 2 Yakuza bosses and a roughed up ex-baseball player?
Mm-hmm.
For some game that he's not even making that big a deal about.
Chapter 3. The Price of Truth.
Oh my god, it's only chapter 3.
Yeah.
That was chapter 4.
No.
I think all the side quests bled into one chapter for me, so I segmented them.
15 years ago, Shinada, still in his Wyvern uniform, stands outside the team's bus with a fan, signing a baseball that he caught off the home run Shinada hit. He asks if Shinada is sure that he doesn't want the baseball for himself, but nah, Shinada will just hit another one tomorrow and the next day. Besides, just between the two of them, Shinada kind of hates people who try and pressure others to give up the balls they caught themselves. He begins to hand the ball back. To my first official fan, I'll do my best so you can sell that ball for good money someday. Before the fan can take it, though, a police detective walks up, yanking it from his hand and throwing it to his partner, saying to send it to evidence as well. He drags Shinada away, throwing them in an interrogation room and shining the light on him, demanding him to fess up. But Shinada can't confess to something he didn't do. The cop slides a photo across the table, saying that this should speed things up and that he should recognize the man in the picture. Shinada does. It's his prior teammate from high school.
Which one now?
This is the one who who came forward saying that Shinada had asked him to steal signs.
Right, okay.
Or this is another flashback. The cop tells him that the man came to them direct, saying Shinada had paid him to steal signs from the Giggins catcher. Shinada starts shouting how ridiculous that is. You can't prove that. You can't prove it even. You can't even prove that is him in the picture. Are they seriously believing this shit? He starts panicking, bolting up from the seat, trying to get out, only to be slammed back down by the officer behind him. They've got more. Seems Shinada bet $2 million on the Wyverns winning. The officers slam the table, getting in Shinada's face, saying how the man in the photo told them everything. They know that he did it. But it's still ridiculous. Even if he stole signs, how could he have guaranteed he'd hit a home run? To use their damn brains. The officers lean back in his chair, telling Shinada to calm down. He already got his punishment. If he just admits he did it, then they might agree not to press charges. Shinada looks confused. Punishment? You didn't hear? The Federation's spoken. You're banned from professional baseball. For life. The scene fades out on Shinada's face, locked in utter shock. Back in the present day, Shinada is searching away on his laptop in an apartment while Takasugi's lounged on the floor behind him, gabbing away on a phone to one of his debtors, who seems to have been forced to work at a bathhouse to pay him back. She complains about her jaw hurting from it. Takasugi getting heated about how if she only paid back her fucking... Will you shut up already? Shinada moans at him. Takasugi apologizes and quickly hangs up, going to check on what Shinada's doing. On this screen are a number of complex-looking graphs and diagrams. The pitching data of the Giants pitcher Sawada over the last 15 years. Okay. Seems this isn't any old data from a generic score. This has all been personally compiled by Shinada himself. And it's not just Sawada. The data highlights the pitchers of all 12 major clubs. Course, pitch type, speed, accuracy. It's all there. Guess he never really was able to say goodbye to baseball. Weird. Takasugi asks why he's done this, with Shinada asking if he remembers when he said that he couldn't just hit a home run even if he knew what pitch was coming. Well, that's really only kind of half true. In the pros, just swinging or whatever comes won't make you any good. You have to go to bat knowing about 80% of what the pitcher's going to throw. How often you can turn those into hits is what separates the best from the best. Given his analysis of Sawada's behavior, Shinada knew that the fastball would be coming after 6 straight curveballs on an 0-2 count. He actually went for that home run. Statistically. As for now, he's poring over this data to see if match fixing really ended after he left the team. And the data backs it up. The Wyverns were a whole different team after that. It's not obvious to the untrained eye, but any weird pitch selections or random bench shuffling altogether vanished after that day. As well, while up until this game, the Wyverns were largely local talent. From then on, they suddenly went after foreign players and started actively engaging in trades. But how does that correlate to Shinada being sacrificed to save Nagoya? Almost feels like the opposite. Shinada's not so sure that they meant the team, though. What if they meant the whole town? And Shinada even has a lead. Someone with knowledgeable about the whole town. His chef friend. Head of the Nagoya Chamber of Commerce. Ushijima. They head over, and after a small exchange where Ushijima reminds Shinada that he's banned until he pays his tab, Takasugi covers it, and they sit down for a chat. They cut to the chase, asking if anything's changed about Nagoya 15 years ago. For example, how the Nagoya family started settling in. Hearing the family's names, Ushijima immediately says that he has nothing to tell them. They owe the Nagoya family their livelihood. 15 years ago, Kenicho was a nightmare, caught in an eternal war between Tojo and Omi. The endless crime affected everyone living there, but after the match fixing scandal, and he clearly doesn't know who Shinada is, so they just kind of play dumb about knowing about the scandal. The Nagoya drove them out, after the match fixing scandal drove them out of town. The Nagoya family have been keeping the peace here ever since. They're still Yakuza, no doubt, but they don't start conflicts or run protection on businesses. Other than one major league hiccup, they can now actually live their lives in peace. A sacrifice for the sake of Nagoya. Takasugi looks at Ushijima, saying that he assumes he knows the head of the Nagoya family then, but Ushijima tells him to give it up. He doesn't know, and he doesn't want to. The family protects them all from behind the scenes. For the business owners, that's all they need to know. Shinada gets a call standing up to take it. It's Milky, in a complete panic, saying that they took her brother. She doesn't know who they are, but but one had a scar on his cheek. She's tracking them now over near Warehouse 62 at the port. She screams and the call cuts out. Shinada rushing out with Takasugi quickly behind him.
Walks in and there's just like, I don't know, a shark tank with piranhas in it or something. And it's like,
There'll be some guy going, you and me actually weren't in the same year at school, but I was in the year below you. I said hi when you were walking past and you didn't say, looking back, you might just not have heard me, but I have your girlfriend.
And I've put a lot of work into this, so God damn it, you are going to play baseball with me.
She screams and the call cuts out. Shinada rushing out with Takasugi quickly behind them. On the way to the taxi, he gets another call, this time from Uno. Shinada, get out of there while you still can. These bastards showed up and The phone cuts off. They rush all over to find Uno badly wounded in his clinic. Takasugi tells Shinada that he'll call an ambulance. He go help his friends. He'll be right behind him and he better not find his ass dead. Shinada rushes for a taxi, almost stopping to get distracted by famed American singer and songstress Daddy Papa.
Daddy
Papa?
It's Daddy Papa.
Is it like Lady Gaga?
Yes, it is.
Amazing.
2012, baby.
Why is she wearing seaweed? Is that something Lady Gaga did?
But she wore meat.
Meat.
So maybe this is a fun nod to...
Yeah. He rushes to the warehouse, finding Milky tied and gagged on the floor in the center.
Sorry, I feel like we should go back to Lady Gaga because I am aware that we have previously just discussed Lady Gaga on this podcast. So she's probably showing up to...
That was months ago.
Yeah, but to get a pitch, you know, for her latest Silent Hill concept album.
Shut the fuck up. Moving on.
If you have any questions about that, listen to the Silent Hill
We've just
episode.
had a fun Lady Gaga thing. Now let's go back to Milky tied up in the warehouse.
He rips the tape from her mouth, asking where they took her brother. Ta-cha, I'm sorry. A man from behind Shinada wearing a chef's outfit swings down a metal pipe on his head, knocking him out cold. When he awakens, he's now bound on the floor. Milky's freed of her restraints, calmly stood in the warehouse, and by the door on the phone is the man in the chef's outfit, Ushijima. Ushijima, Milky, and the others stand in a circle around Shinada, saying that they have orders to take him out. It's not his... It's his fault for not heeding the warnings. Milky wipes tears from her eyes, saying how if the accidents had scared him off, maybe it wouldn't have come to this. You wanted to know about the Nagoya family so bad? Well, here's your answer. Shinada writhes on the ground. I can't believe it. I won't believe it. Ushijima looks down on him. Any last words? We've known each other all of 15 years. I can listen to your will at least. Shinada laughs, saying how he knows them all. They're all good people. They can stop playing the villain now. He may not be smart, but he can read people. He knows each of them opened their hearts to him. So he can't believe their little gangster act. Are they all really trying to say they're behind the accidents around town? Sakai's death? They all sold out to the Nagoya family?
No, they are the
Buddy,
Nagoya family.
We are the Nagoya family.
This is good. I like this.
Cool.
A group of ordinary citizens dedicated to the cause.
What cause?
Now, I don't like the idea of being considered Yakuza, but I guess that's how it goes. Shinada pleads, saying that Ushijima could have taken him out at any time, but he didn't. Somebody's forcing him to, aren't they? Who? But Ushijima simply stands silently. The manager of Fudamoto looks over at Milky, telling her to just do it already. What do you mean? You're going to make the girl do it? Ushijima cuts them both off. Fine, then I'll end it. Pulling out his chef's knife. Slowly, shakily putting it to Shinada's throat, while Shinada mews up at him.
Look at that smolder.
Hits him with Blue Thunder.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the warehouse door opens. What's with the hold up? Just finish him already. It's Kubota, the head of the security agency, flanked by a couple of his boys. The others shrink back almost on instinct as he walks in. He walks right up to Ushijima, grabbing the knife from his hand. Remember, this is for Kenicho. No point hesitating. And he swings it downwards. But flash! They're all blinded by light as a forklift slams through the warehouse door, charging right for them.
Amazing.
It screeches to a stop as the crowd scatters. Listen up, assholes. You don't kill a man with no life insurance, especially when that man is my client.
Oh, God, this guy.
Takasugi pulls a fire extinguisher from next to him, letting it rip on the Nagoya family, grabbing Shinada in the ensuing chaos and rushing him out of the warehouse. The Nagoya family quickly regains their senses and chases after them. They fight their way through the docks as they make their escape, even getting chased by Kubota on the forklift in like a chase sequence. Ultimately ending in a fight versus the man himself. They finally manage to take him down, the pair catching their breath, Takasugi making sure Shinada's okay. He tells him that Una's going to pull through. But no wonder nobody could find out about the Nagoya family. Who would have suspected the townsfolk themselves? They had their eyes on them the whole time. But they're close. If they can find out who the boss is, they win. Shinada gets up, going to leave. Where do you think you're going? I'm leaving this rotten town. Somewhere I don't know. And this time I'll make sure they don't know me either. Who am I supposed to suspect next? My saint of a landlord? You? I'm done with this shit. I thought I'd finally found somewhere I belonged. He walks up to Takasugi, sticking his hands out in front of him. Oh, and you want your money? Here, my fingers are all yours. I always thought that maybe someday I'd pick up a bat again, but I was never a baseball player. I was just their stupid pawn. Takasugi slaps his hand away. And maybe they used you. And maybe you only had one at bat, but you were definitely a pro. That home run you hit, it was inspirational. Don't you get it, dumbass? Memories flash through Shinada's mind of him, fresh off hitting the home run, signing the ball for his very first fan.
He had one game. Memories flash.
Flash. Gone.
It's a quick one.
I'm trying to do a very emotional moment
Sorry,
here.
but it is hard to forget
A very emotional moment.
that
so
this
sorry.
all ultimately comes back to a game of baseball.
Memories flash through Shinada's mind of him, fresh off hitting that faded home run, signing the ball for his very first fan. The face of that fan lingering in his mind. That fan, it was you. When you came looking for a loan last year, I could barely believe my eyes. Never thought I'd see you like that. So then you've known all this time. Sure have. Makes me sick to see how far you've fallen. Though it did make it easy on the old conscience, outing you for a payment and all. He confesses that it was him who gave the masked man the home run ball. He came to him saying that he had a big money job for Shinada. All he had to do was play along. But he never expected any of this shit. I want them back. My money and the ball. I treasured that thing, you know. Suddenly a phone rings. Both men checking their pockets, but it's neither of theirs. They look over at Kubota's body, reaching for his phone. But a hand reaches down and grabs it first. Yep. Kubota didn't get it done. I'll do it right this time. Guaranteed. I'll let you know when it's done. Manabe hangs up the phone. Shinada can't believe it. He's in on this too. But he's the one who led them down this path. He scoffs, saying how he told them that somebody was fixing matches, but pretty sure he warned them to keep his nose out of going any deeper. He pulls his chef knife, saying that it's time they settle this. Shinada steals it, stabbing Manabe 47 times in the chest.
Wow, he really is stabbing the shit out of that man.
That's a lot of blood. Wow, okay, Manabe more important than I thought.
Yeah, I really like this this idea of, you know, they're not a particularly significant family. They're not really even a family in the sense that we've come to know, that this is just this weird little secretive local
Neighborhood watch,
secret
but psycho.
society. I really like that.
It's very Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
The greater good.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Manabe falls to the ground in a puddle of blood while Shinada heaves her breath. Sheesh. He could have made it more obvious. The guy only came here to lose. Takasugi's confused, so Shinada explains. Manabe was the best cleanup hitter the Wyverns ever had. And the best batters in the game can always read what's coming next. Manabe came to this fight fully aware that he was going to lose. Isn't that right? Manabe grunts, struggling to a seated position, blood leaking from his wound, telling Shinada to shut up. And he knew warning me to stay away would only lead into me digging deeper. Manabe-san, tell the truth. You want me to know about the Nagoya family, about what's really going on here. So out with it. Who's behind this all? Who set me up 15 years ago? And who's the bastard making honest people like you do these terrible things? Manabe sighs, pulling out his phone and punching in a number, handing it off to Shinada. Why don't you find out for yourself? You'll understand when you hear who picks up. He puts the phone to his ear. What's going on, Manabe? Have you taken care of our Shinada problem? Shinada's eyes go wide in shock, dropping the phone. Takasugi looks over at him. Who is it, Shinada? Come on! It was Fujita, my old manager.
The guy that was on the big TV screens.
Yeah, the one who's now the manager of the Giants.
Okay.
Weird. Okay.
Unless he was part of this, the alliance. He was part of the family.
Well, the Nagoya family.
He's the boss of the Nagoya family. Yeah.
So they effectively gain control of their neighborhood because Omi and Tojo are sort of out. So,
because they're gambling.
So yeah, you can't make money on the gambling anymore, but they now have control of their neighborhood.
Oh my God, if that is true, that is such a twisty conspiracy. Wait, we have gone around
the 12D chess is 12D chess in.
Oh, it's not even 12D chess at this point. I don't know how to describe it.
Chapter 4, Fleeting Triumph.
Okay.
Fujita stands by the window of his office on the phone, giving an update to somebody. Believe me, I know there's more to come. Some things have been handed off. But that doesn't change the truth. My sworn duty is to protect Nagoya. Measures have been taken. Shinada will be disposed of. I'll see to it personally. He hangs up, calling another number, saying that they need to discuss the news about a big trade, asking if it can be squeezed into the evening edition. His life in baseball practically depends on it. The next morning, Shinada finally wakes up, remembering that he needs to update the masked man. The man tells him that he'll hear it in person. He heads to Shinada's house, where Shinada fills him in on everything that he's learned, finishing with the fact that the Nagoya family was well organized, that while the Nagoya family was well organized, they ultimately were regular people. But now that the secret's out, they're powerless. It seems that after everything came out last night, all of his attackers turned themselves in, Ushijima and Milky being the ones who persuaded the rest to do it. For 15 years, they harbored their secret in silence, dreading that this day would come. Shinada needs to finally find the truth behind it all. He realized it when they all came for him the prior night. They're not killers. It's true they were acting on Fujita's orders, but they're not capable of staging the accidents which happened over the past few days. Which I have a note saying it feels like they're absolutely capable of staging a few falling objects in a car accident, but sure.
Yeah, one of them was about to stab a guy in the throat. Like
I thought he knew he would lose, apparently.
No, the first guy, Ushijima.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. Can I, very quick question. Milky and the other one, apologies if you mentioned it, did they run away? Did they at the last scene?
They're in jail now.
They're in jail.
Yeah,
right.
So that's what I just said is they turned themselves in.
Got you. They turned them,
and they convinced the entire Nagoya family to turn. So basically, this is saying most of the Nagoya were kind of being strung along by Fujita.
Yeah, cool. And they couldn't have coordinated dropping steel beams on people or anything.
No, that's really difficult.
Right.
The death of Sakai, probably the deaths of the Tojo and Omi officers too, are part of a grand scheme. Ushijima and the others may have been Nagoya family, but they hesitated to even raise a fist to him. Murder would have been completely out of the question for them. There have been actual criminals at the top. The Nagoya family, a front for an actual, more sinister Yakuza group. The masked man takes all the information in, saying that then he knows a man who's involved. It has to be him. He's been investigating the Nagoya family to see if the man he suspects is linked to it at all. If the man he suspects is linked to it all. But it sounds like he'll need to hear the rest from Fujita himself. The man gets up, heading for the door, turning before he leaves. He places a briefcase on the ground, the 20 million yen payment, telling him that his job's over. The man's returning to Tokyo. He suggests Shinada clear his debts and think about finding a new line of work. Shinada jumps up, saying to take him along. He has questions of his own for Fujita, but the man fixes him with a stare. This job is mine. You stay out of it, Tatsuo. Wait, Tatsuo? What? Why are you calling me by first name? The man reaches up, removing his hat and mask, as Shinada gasps. Remember me? We went to West Comero High together. The name's Daigo.
I didn't need the detail of another person he went to school with. I didn't need that to be the case.
I love that we called it. I hate that Daigo's involvement in this plot is because they went to fucking high school together, just like half of Japan.
I mean, they really have met half of the class
Yeah.
so far.
So far, yeah, there's still time. Right. Sorry, I'm still confused about why he got involved in any of this in the first place. I think you just explained it, but I think it slightly went over my head. Daigo's involvement.
He was looking to the Nagoya family. He's trying to find whoever's pulling the Nagoya family strings.
Why?
Yeah, it's just his.
Presumably on his quest for alliances, he needs to
Figure out who's in charge of effectively a bunch
four
of bakers
people,
and chefs.
4 people with full-time jobs.
That couldn't even rig up a steel pipe
They
accident,
meet
apparently.
every Tuesday.
Do you remember when you said that Daigo was doing like massive 12D chess in the background?
Oh, I believe it.
And now he's baseball.
I think that this feeds into his 12D chess. Will this game make me hate Daigo Dojima?
I hope so.
No game could.
I'm
hope
not
not.
going to lie. This is the only game that makes me somewhat like Daigo.
I will not let you forget everything he has done for the Tojo.
This is currently below Yakuza 0.
Think as a game,
Yeah.
just off this one chapter.
This part has crumbled any goodwill.
What, purely because he's from high school?
No, not this reveal. The
whole
this
baseball.
entire baseball part has crumbled my goodwill for it. Yeah.
You're doing a wonderful job, Chase.
Yeah,
but
it's
this
not
is...
on you, Chase. It's on the game. It's on the award-winning
Right,
Yakuza
okay, it's
game.
3 o'clock. Here we go.
We've got 4 hours to do so much.
Shinada rushes to the bookshelf, finding his old high school yearbook, saying how he remembered a Dojima in Homeroom 1 who had all the best grades. Dojima confirms that was him, but he says that you won't find him in the yearbook. He was expelled, caused some major trouble in the summer of 3rd year, ended up graduating from juvie instead. He had it out with a gang from Komuro Tech. Shinada remembers that too. Tokyo's worst bad boy school. They played...
Bad boy Daigo.
Imagine meeting your old school friend and you say that sentence to him. I remember you went to Tokyo's Ultimate Bad Boy School.
The bad boy.
No. He fought Tokyo's ultimate bad boy school.
You had to
Yeah.
fight with those bad boys.
The bad boys played them in the East Tokyo final. He also remembers the stories about somebody fighting a whole bunch of Komuro Tech guys all by himself the day before their regional final. They'd been threatening their players to forfeit the final, but the day before the game, they all got sent to the emergency room. I'm so ready for you to hate me. Because of that, they were able to play the final without interference, won, and went on to nationals. Daigo finishes the story saying how at Koshien, they lost 2-1 in the first round to Sawada and the rest of Chukyo Academy. Shinada's home run was their only hit. Daigo saw it on TV in the waiting room at family court. Shinada can't believe that Daigo was the one who saved their shot at nationals. And it's such a cost, but why?
Oh no.
For me, seeing the baseball team make it to nationals at Koshien? No. For everyone at West Komuro that summer.
This doesn't make me like him less.
That was our dream.
He was a child. That's fine.
You were the one who gave us that dream in the first place. For all of us back then.
Oh, Monty's very unhappy.
For all of us back then. All we wanted was to see you go to Koshien. But that dream was about to be shattered by the opposing school, and only I had the muscle to prevent it.
That's quite like how he is now.
This may sound sentimental, but people do entrust their dreams to others. They lay down what they couldn't achieve on their own and offer it to someone who can. But by watching that person march forward, carrying a bright new future on their shoulders, they can accept their own reality and live their own lives, thinking that one day they too might be able to make their dreams come true.
Okay. You mean to tell me that I've spent all game wondering where is Daigo Dojima? What is his plan? What is he up to? And what are his schemes? And you mean to tell me that the entire game he has been fucking around in another town, helping not even a friend, a classmate burnout because he looked up to him?
Yes.
When he was in family court.
That's
he
not
is
all
off
of it,
running
though.
a personal errand.
There's
not all of
more!
it. There's more.
Okay, I need D12 chess, please.
Daigo didn't have dreams back then.
Oh,
So
no.
the best that he could do was to help somebody else reach theirs.
No.
He was already being destined to take over the family business. Graduating was the least of his concern. Getting the team to Koshien, that was more important. Even now, thinking
What
back
a
on
lad.
Shinada's home run clearing the stadium, it gives him the motivation to keep moving forward.
Oh, yes.
Even when the road ahead seems grim.
I like this.
The Tojo is collapsing around him. The Omi are preparing for war.
I
His
really
right hand is dead,
I
and
really
the other
like
is
the
pretending
thought
to be
that
a
he's like
taxi driver.
sat in the high chair of the Tojo clan in his little chairman seat. He's like, everything's
Pulls out
falling
a
apart
baseball
upon me.
card.
Pulls out a baseball card of Shinada. Remember that time in high school?
Excuse me. At a time like
WWSD, what would Shinada do?
at a time like this, people need hope. Okay, people need to be inspired.
What people need to do is anything but what he's been doing.
He's been doing other stuff. He's in blood. He came to the other town to do this.
Daigo, 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 Daigo.
Die, go.
Yeah, I've done it.
Not
it
for
took
me.
6 games.
I like
There
him more.
better be a double twist here. I swear to God, Chase, there better be a double twist here.
Well, this isn't the whole reason why he's been out doing stuff.
That's what my reading is.
No,
is it not yours?
he's been meeting with other the whole beginning of the game.
Yeah, but like my thought was that all the nonsense gets tied together by shit that Daigo's
We're not on the
been up
last
to.
part yet. There's no
Yeah.
point even.
That's because you
guessing.
think way too highly of Daigo and you want Daigo to be the master key in every plan.
I want him to be a master key to a plan.
Where's Kiryu?
Where's in his
Gordon?
taxi?
Next.
Daigo admits to being the Tojo clan's 6th chairman, saying that what's come is too dangerous to involve a civilian. He tells Shinada that it's his turn to help Shinada reclaim a lost dream. When all is said and done, he'll get the major leagues to rescind his permanent ban, and if he can't return as a player, he'll make sure that he can as either a manager or coach. Good job, Daigo. He turns to leave, saying that he'll be in touch, opening the door, but Shinada stops him, grabbing him softly by the shoulder and slamming his fist into Daigo's face, sending him flying out of the door.
Okay.
Same shit all over again. Same as 15 years ago. Yakuza jerked me around, cost me my dream. Now Yakuza's gonna give it back? I'm not having it. That's not how I'm saving my dream. Using some thug's connections to get me reinstated? It's a hollow victory. Daigo tells him that he understands, but as things stand, he's going to live out the rest of his life in poverty. He inspires people. He deserves to be in the spotlight. Open your eyes. Clinging to the past won't give you back the time you lost. Shinada looked at him, slowly reaching up to his shoulder and ripping off his jacket. The toned muscles of an athlete that never once let go of training for his dreams, shining brightly under the sunlight. My story's not yours to write. Every day for 15 years, I've taken 5,000 swings, done 1,000 push-ups and sit-ups, never took a single day off. There's nothing that you can say to convince me. I'm saving my dream with my own 2 hands. I'm getting that home run back. Daigo sighs, reaching up to his shoulder and pulling off his own jacket. So this is what it's come to. As much as you want it, I won't let you run to your death. As a Yakuza, and as your friend. The muscle boys charge, their fists connecting with each other's faces.
Does
But Daigo is
does Daigo go shirtless?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Daigo's squishy though, and he can't beat anybody in a fight, so Baseball Boy beats his balls around until he cries.
Oh.
Daigo admits defeat. He'll no longer object to Shinada joining him in Tokyo. Not after seeing him steal his resolve.
Wait, Daigo gets beaten by an old baseball player.
Daigo is the same age.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
They're both like mid-40s.
Still.
He's not old. Does that look like the body of an old man?
I mean, I know you said he's been working out every day or whatever, but Daigo is a Yakuza.
Yeah. Just go with it.
Okay.
We're not even done this part yet.
No, we're
Let's
not.
just go with it.
Yeah.
They head the next day, grabbing a train to Tokyo. Shinada returns to his seat, returning from the dining car with a few cans of coffee, thanking Daigo for spotting him some cash and returning his change. You can keep it. Man, really? Christmas has come early. Guess a few loose coins don't mean much when you run the Tojo clan. Daigo and the rest of the train car rustle uncomfortably with Shinada's excited outburst at the head of the Tojo clan being sat here. Daigo shoves him back down into his seat. Shinada settles uncomfortably, opening up a newspaper, but immediately shouting again, seeing the headline. Daigo shoves him again, but he looks shocked seeing the paper. 190 win pitcher Sawada traded to the Wyverns.
Oh.
The picture of it?
So, right.
Who's Sawada again?
He was the pitcher who he got the home run off of.
The pitcher.
The
And he was on the giant ants. And now
The gigantic ants.
And now the manager from the Wyverns has gone over to the gigantic ants.
Yeah.
And the pitcher has gone. Sawada's gone the other way. They've swapped it, haven't they?
Yeah.
Either he's kicked him out or he's left in protest.
Oh, there's something going on there.
I think I may have made a big mistake. Shinada jumps up from his seat, telling Daigo to go ahead without him and rushing off the train, saying there's something that he needs to do. Back in Nagoya, Takasugi casually strolls up to Shinada's house, using his spare key to let himself in. He's surprised to see the place empty, but more surprised to see what's waiting on the table. The entire briefcase of cash, along with a note. Here's your ball and your money. Should be more than enough. Get your children something nice with whatever's left over. Takasugi sits on the ground in front of the case, lighting up a cigarette and taking a long, sad draw as he leans back, looking up to the ceiling. He knows damn well I ain't even married.
Cute. Very cute.
Scene shift to the Wyvern Stadium. It's empty, save but for a single person. Sawada, alone on the pitcher's mound, ball in hand. Sawada, comes a voice. It's Shinada. I had a feeling you'd know to find me here, Sawada says as Shinada approaches him. Good on you, Shinada. Shinada tells him how shocking the headline that Japan's leading pitcher getting traded to the eternal underdog sounds. It was my promise to Fujita-san that I would take his place in 15 years. Sawada says calmly, I didn't realize Fujita-san's return to baseball would mean a new boss for the Nagoya family. Sawada chuckles, all but confirming. He is a Nagoya boy after all, the ace of Chukyo Academy, the genius of Nagoya. Yet despite that, he ended up in Tokyo, while Shinada, a Tokyo boy, ended up in Nagoya, and ended up being the scapegoat for its salvation. Shinada demands to know why Sawada is taking the reins in the Nagoya family. The family's done. Everybody turned themselves in. Apparently you're blind to what's really going on. I know the Nagoya family's finished. I returned to Nagoya to finish one last job. He pulls out a gun, leveling it at Shinada's chest, to get rid of the guy who's got the most dirt on the Nagoya family. He reveals that all members of the Nagoya family have already been released. No charges will be pressed. This is all far bigger than some small town family. A greater power is pulling the strings. One with the power to control the police like puppets.
Like Mr. Nick Fury caught
Yeah, yeah.
He nods his head at the dugouts, where a number of men are watching. His observers from the Omi Alliance, the Nagoya family, himself, Fujita. They are only pawns of a greater Omi faction. The Kuroha family.
Is that a new name?
That is a new name.
The Kuroha family.
The Kuroha family.
And Sagawa's saying that that's who's behind it all.
Yeah, so Sawada is saying that they're the ones who are puppeting the Nagoyas.
Kurowa. Okay.
Kuroha. The Nagoya family was created as a puppet family by them to drive the larger Omi out of Nagoya and take their piece of the pie. Fujita and himself sold their souls to make their dreams come true. Sawada was never the baseball genius people believed him to be. Even all the way back at Koshien, he only made it this far because of the Kuroha bribing coaches, threatening players. Those goons from Komuro Tech that Daigo took out before Koshien, that was all the Kuroha too. He managed to get Shinada out in the first round, allowing him to take Koshien, burying Shinada in the Wyverns draft while he took first spot on the Gigants, all to enable match fixing in every single game that he pitched versus the Wyverns. Completely controllable and undetectable. Utter control over baseball betting. You can pay off a pitcher, but that doesn't control the batters, and vice versa. But with Sawada as their pitcher of choice, and the coaches and starting lineup of the Wyverns in on it, it was a near perfect system, only ever failing a single time. Shinada's home run. The Kuroha demanded the Gigants win 1-0, but in the bottom of the ninth, the Gigants didn't have a run to their name. They weren't hitting. So Fujiya replaced Sakai on second with Shinada, a guy with no major league experience to pinch hit. He knew both of their strengths and weaknesses better than anybody, assuming that if Sawada kept throwing curves, he'd never get a hit off of him. But then why the fastball? Was it an ignored orders to settle their old high school score? No, that was Fujiya's call as well. But why? Sawada begins to speak. You talk too much, Sawada. A man's voice comes from the stands behind home base, a gun pointed at Shinada. If you don't shoot, I will. But then I'll have to dispose of you, too. Sawada cocks a gun, saying that he knows. The rest of Nagoya never knew they were being controlled. Excuse me, the rest of the Nagoya family never knew that they were being controlled, putting their entire faith in Fujita and Sawada for the sake of Nagoya. He hopes that he can believe that at least. He readies his gun. Are you ready, Shinada? His finger tightens around the trigger, but Shinada's eyes catch something else. Hand signs, a series of gestures from Sawada. Shinada's eyes go wide as a shot goes off, him leaning back as the bullet sails past where he stood, embedding itself into Yakuza's chest behind him.
He matrixes the bullet.
Well,
No, Sawada gave him baseball signs.
Yeah, to tell him, like, lean
move
back.
now. Yeah.
He was basically going, this is the pitch. He's
Yeah.
going to go, I'm pitching a bullet.
Yeah. Cool.
Here's the
That's
pitch.
a cool moment.
Very cool.
So you knew the gigant signs after all. Sawada lowers the gun. Well, yeah. Learning your opponent's signs is batting 101. They're not out of the deep end, though. Shinada rushes to Sawada's side as the Yakuza leave the dugout, surrounding the men. Shinada asks why Sawada saved him. I always wanted to know how you got a read on my fastball. I couldn't let you die without telling me. That's all. Now, about that home run 15 years ago. Did you steal our signs? How about I tell you if we make it out of here alive?
Sure.
I've got an idea of how to resolve this. Have we got a minute for a
quick
little
round
bit?
of-
Anyone got a bat?
Who was the Yakuza man that got shot? Because you began.
Oh, it was just a rando.
Oh, I thought
Just
it
a
was,
rando Kurohei,
I
man.
thought it was the guy from Kiryu's part, with the annoying little voice.
No, that's why I gave him a random voice.
Was Kiryu in this?
I don't know.
Who's Kiryu? The Kurohei are no match for them, one by one falling to their years of athletic training before they too fall to the ground in an exhausted heap, surrounded by the bodies of their puppeteers. Through his heaving breaths, Shinada again asks why Fujita ordered that fastball. Sawada confesses that Fujita had felt conflicted. They discussed it the night prior, him hating to see a pitcher of skill resorting to match fixing. He knows that all Sawada really wants going against Shinada was to see how he fares against his fastball. Will he really throw away his chance against his bitter rival? They understood that what's done is done, and if they failed, Nagoya went down with them. But Fujita sighed. I won't let Shinada end up a tool for match fixing. He's far too special for that. I'd rather retire from the league than tarnish that talent. The match fixing would have eventually gotten out whether he had hit it or not. The Kurohei would have eventually made it public regardless, using the ensuing police chaos to chase out the Tojo and Omi as they did. So Fujita made his decision to protect the one thing he held dearest, his love of the game. And the man that could keep that love alive. He embraced the rivalry, and before he walked out on the love of his life, he wanted to see it one more time. Pure, genuine baseball. Sawada gets up, saying that they should go. More Kurohei goons will be here any minute. He can tell them about the home run later. But Shinada pauses before slowly getting up, walking over the bodies of the goons and beginning to drag them away. Sawada's confused. Shinada simply says that they'll get in the way. They don't belong on the diamond anyway. We're settling this. Our rivalry. They drag the bodies off, the stadium lights turning on as they take their respective places.
Yeah.
I hope there's
We
no
all knew it
police
was
on the way.
building to this. Yeah.
Sawada wanted to know how he did it, so he'll show him. So long as his pitching's not gone to shit after all these years, that is. You really think you can get a hit off on me? Damn straight I do. Sawada takes a ball from the cart, breathing slow as he winds up. His arm a machine as it flies forward, the ball soaring straight past Shinada. Not bad. Sawada clicks his tongue, saying that was nothing compared to his fastball back in the day. Besides, he was just warming up. He takes another ball, winding up again for a real fastball, sending it flying again past Shinada. I thought you were itching for a rematch. Was that home run just a fluke? Just throw the damn ball. Shinada scowls, holding tight to his bat as his face froze in concentration. Miss. 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 But finally, a glint in Shinada's eyes as one comes straight down the middle, his swing finally connecting, but fouling it.
Oh.
You messed up that one pretty badly. Why didn't you hit it out of the park? Shinada simply tells him next, like Monty likes to, as Sawada goes for the cart, taking a ball. It's the 7th pitch. Bring back memories? Time to end this once and for all. He lets out a scream as he launches the ball, but not a fastball, a curve. Shinada's teeth grit as he swings the bat forward, hitting it square on, sending it flying into the stands. Home run. Sawada falls to his knees, not understanding. How? How did he know that it would be a curve? Shinada chuckles, saying that he didn't know, but he'd been waiting for it. Waiting for 15 years. At Koshin, he'd struck out on Sawada's fastball, and so he spent the next 4 years on the Wyverns farm day in, day out, thinking how to beat it. That led to his ultimate home run on that fateful day, but he couldn't get a read on Sawada's curve. If he'd never thrown that fastball, he eventually would have struck him out for sure. He finally got this hit on Sawada, but only because Fujita took pity on him. There's no glory in that. He thanked Sawada for being honest with him. It took him a while, but it was worth it. He extends a hand, helping Sawada to his feet, the men latching hands. Guess I can finally retire in peace. About time, eh? I owe you one, Sawada. He smiles, for the first time in 15 years, truly and genuinely at peace.
Good for him.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice ending.
Who'd have thought it?
Yeah.
Baseball!
Any post credits?
No, baseball!
Oh, is this the end of the part?
Baseball!
Oh, okay.
Hey, you've perked up now.
I was sitting there going, right, okay, and in a minute he's going to have to get to the train station.
Was this your favorite
It
game?
ends on baseball. That's nice. Yeah.
That makes sense. Weird that the cop didn't show up to Nick Fury to Tokyo. Is he going to Tokyo?
Well,
Like, Daigo did tell him, like, hey, come with me.
Well,
but-
Daigo Nick Fury'd him.
Cool. That's fine.
Sure, Sawada doesn't have a fucking clue this guy is.
I hated this.
are you amped for the
I
finale?
did
Have you
okay
got
for this.
any memory of where it's going with the finale? So we've got presumably Daigo, Kiryu, maybe Majima, who's dead. Sorry, Saitama. I don't know. I can't remember.
Saitama.
What's coming. Saitama.
Saitama, so obviously they need all their individual villains, right? If we're going with Yakuza 4. So you got Saitama versus Boba. You've got Kiryu versus, forget his name again, but big guy.
Yeah.
Waita?
Wakata.
That rings a bell.
What to say?
Watase.
God damn it.
Kiryu versus Watase. He's Baseball Boy is going to be versus Fujitsu. Is that his name? Fujita.
Who is an old man.
Like, I mean, it could be whatever. Like, he's also an old man.
No, he's not. He's 45.
Literally, he's in his mid-40s. Look, death is coming for us all, and in 15 years, that'll be me. Who's left? Haruka, Idol Awards. She's not going to fight. She's going to be doing her show. And Akiyama is going to fight... Oh my god, who's the villain of Haruka's? We just did it.
Katsuya.
Our favorite.
Katsuya.
But how is she going to fight him? Is that going to be in a dance battle?
No, she's not. We're just going to cut back to her while she does her rhythm game. Yeah.
I
still have no idea where any of this is going.
This was a baffling choice. I appreciate pardon the pun. I appreciate the swing. I really
But
do.
is it a swing or miss?
It's a miss. It's a miss. It's a
We're not
huge
going to
miss.
give you a tease for what's next. You know what's coming.
Oh,
It's
all
the
right.
end of whatever the fuck has been happening.
It's time to wrap this motherfucker up.
I'm excited for the finale because I just cannot wait to find out how any of this ties together.
Oh,
I think it will. I think it's going to have a cracker. I think we're gonna
yeah, maybe the ending will save it.
all right. Love you all. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.
Bye, everyone. Please like and subscribe. It's me again. Bye-bye.